insubordination, but, we're splitting hairs at that point.
Current star date is 53660.1. Last we left our crew of the Victoria, they had evaded the tender mercies of the Al Nomad attack after taking custody of the ambassador delegation that had come over, at which point they were able to make flight away from them after a brief exchange of fire, if I'm not mistaken. During that, the Admiral helped briefly. However, the Admiral's shall we say, character is called into question. Certain charges are laid against him. He is currently sitting in confinement in a quarter. Also, the delegation decided that it had enough of being lorded over and decided to blow them in front of the captain and the doctor, and almost unlucky security officer, all three which made it. During this time, Jolson, however, had a rather nasty complication with their symbiote, which has medbayed them. And what else? Yes, the ship was able to escape to hide near a gas giant in a star system to evade the pursuing Al Nomad forces. The Al Nomad forces spent quite some time looking for the Victoria, but were unable to find them. So they've kind of gone away for now, likely searching other systems. As far as Victoria is concerned, they're beyond extreme sensor range, so not your problem for now. That does leave the problem with a big old hole in the side of your ship. Leaves the problem with an admiral who's raised more questions than answers yet again. A crew that seems uneasy, but a staff that has managed to ease their worries that an admiral was punched in the face on the bridge. So no big thing, really.
He still lives.
He still lives. At this moment, the Lieutenant Commander Jal is currently in sickbay, along with Lieutenant Jolson. Is there anyone else who is sickbayed? I think it was just those two, the CO and the XO.
So many
it
STDs.
was just us. Yeah, it was just us.
And so what we're going to do... Oh, I'm getting a typed message from Dr. Karen McNeil. The doc is in sickbay. Good.
Oh yeah,
And...
watching us.
Double checking some stuff real quick. Okay, we're good there.
Yeah, because if you left, if she left anywhere, you guys would leave.
That's a good possibility.
Who would be on the bridge? And actually, since last episode, at least a couple hours have passed. So you've had a bit of time to actually stop and read some, because now, that's the other thing. That's why I forgot to mention. That's very important. You guys got access to all the computer files on the Victoria. So anything that was Admiral coded aboard the Victoria has been opened, and you guys have spent some time pouring through the data for stuff that's relevant to each of you. As a quick reminder, that means for the topics you asked about, you can, for this mission, for this episode, if you will, spend once per scene. You can spend 2 momentum to basically activate your knowledge, your research. Basically, it's like, well, I remember reading, and so on. As long as it's relevant to what you were doing. So in the doctor's case, she was looking up stuff regarding a cure for the temporal displacement sickness that the ship seems to cause, and the chronoton radiation. It was Gierix who was looking up the engine. Alan was looking up himself and the engine. And Joel was looking up the logs for the Admiral. And
the crew roster.
In the crew roster, yes. So that is in effect for now. After those couple hours, who would be on the bridge, minding basically the next shift? It's basically been, it's still the same shift.
I have left Garrick's in charge.
Yeah, so I'd be on the bridge at the moment then.
Okay, so Garrix will be the one that's in charge. Actually, I'll pull you guys over after I get your soundscape settled. Message has been sent. I'm in engineering, doing repairs and assigning quarters. That is from Selena, the lieutenant, junior grade. Good to know. So we're going to move over to the bridge. I'm going to fill it in here. Uh-oh. More messages.
You don't have to put wash, because I think if Garrix is on the bridge and everything's fine at the moment, somebody can at least just watch over him in case we need to jet. I think this is the moment to get the kids back on schedule. So I'm probably holding like a couple hour classroom, just get them right back in their studies, this and that. But while I'm getting them reading, I can be reading the helm side of all the stuff that we've opened up, regarding the engine, regarding the heat sinks, when it's a good time, and how I could slow down or speed up with the ability to do different stuff with it. All from so all the pilot specs kind of way of looking at all of that.
Basically seeing looking up the flight controller's logs for the Victoria, basically.
Yes, because I also want to know what they've already done and what type of things they've already went through themselves and how they took care of it, etc. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll place myself in. Where's Garrix?
On the bridge.
On the bridge.
Okay. I'll place myself in engineering, then researching the replicatable blocks.
So that leaves Garrix. Oh, I should give myself threat. I do start with an amount.
Too late.
I just learned recently I've been spending it a little too often, so that's some good news. Thank the other GMs of the 10th for educating me.
That just means we're more hardcore than any of the other ones.
Lieutenant Garrix, you are currently on the bridge of the Victoria. In the room, there are at the various stations are the even more junior crew, the beta shift you are supervising. For the most part, they've been just staying in standard orbit of the J-class planet and keeping an eye out for Alnomet patrols. Status, I assume, is green, unless you've asked them to stay, unless you've been keeping them at yellow alert this whole time.
No, we'd be on green for the time being.
All right. The bridge is yours. Is there anything you would do with it?
Basically, I'd have whoever's up my engineering station running continual diagnostics on the engines just to determine our state of readiness if we can, in fact, safely go to war.
Aye, sir. Checking. Status report. Still suffering breach to the structure at this time due to the explosion. Other systems seem to be still stabilized. Would you like us to lock out some EVA suits and start repairs, or perhaps deploy some worker bee shuttles?
Getting the ship in operational capacity is our first priority. Make it so.
Aye, sir.
Other than that, I'm probably just requesting, normal sensor logs, and everyone stay on alert in case the Alnomet come back in sensor range. Keep everything running as quietly as possible until we're back at readiness.
Actually, what I'm going to ask you to do for me is I'm going to ask you to give me a roll here for getting the structure somewhat patched up. Let me just get that for you. I will tell you that the crew give me an insight command roll, difficulty 2, as you're managing the bridge.
I was going to say,
in the ship at large.
Would a focus in emergency repairs apply?
Not for what I'm asking for.
Okay. Go ahead and take a threat then.
I will take that threat.
Okay, well, that's some momentum for us.
I'll tell myself I'm getting. And I'll check that in a moment. Just occurred to me I needed that roll. There we go. Okay, before I ask you for your new roll, I will advise you as to the result of your first roll. You did generate momentum. Thank you, Dr. McNeil. Garrix, you get a sense, when you're talking to the crew, you do get a sense that the crew is doing their job and they're following orders, the chain of command is secure and all that. And I believe your reputation's above 10, if I remember correctly, for you.
Yeah, I think it's at 13.
13. So, and they seem to be responding to you rather promptly. Like no one's trying to sandbag you, no one's trying to put off the work or acting below their means, but it is obvious the crew seems tired. Even this beta shift seems a little uneasy and unsure. It looks like there are frequent moments when they look over at you, and it looks like they want to ask you something, but they don't want to bother you, so they continue what they were doing.
Okay, Garrix is probably going back between like the pad with his research on it and like checking with the crew. If he catches someone actually looking at him with that, I want to ask you something look, he would turn and say, "Can I help you, crewman, ensign, whatever?"
Lieutenant, he kind of looks around the rest of the room, who kind of look at him like, you have to answer. He's the officer. And he kind of, could I, this might be something I'm supposed to say in private. I don't think I should say it on the bridge.
Very well. Why don't we take a walk? Ensign, please please keep an eye on the con. Let me immediately if anything should come to my attention.
Aye, Lieutenant.
All right, shall we take a walk, Ensign?
Yes, sir.
All right, so he heads into one of the turbo lifts. Says deck 2, and goes for a walk with this.
He kind of stands in the turbo lift with you, a little nervous. Like he kind of shifts back and forth. The crew hasn't had a ton of time to actually stop and they've been at yellow alert or red alert. The last green status these guys had was when they were on the planet, and even then, that wasn't really all status green. That was we were stuck on an ice world and our ship blew up. So this is the first time we've actually had time to process anything. So when he looks over at you, he kind of, well, sir. The thing is, what's going on? I mean, we haven't really been briefed, and well, we don't know what happened to the captain yet. We don't know what our orders are. I mean, everyone's just kind of. I mean, I don't want to question you guys. I know you guys are busy, but we're not.
Your worries are not unfounded, Ensign. We are in somewhat dire straits. Unfortunately, I don't believe it's my place to share everything with you right now, based on Acting Captain Giles' wishes. What I will tell you is, every man and woman on the ship is in good hands. Is there anything I can do to reassure you, Ensign?
Yeah. Could you, what was with the Admiral, earlier? I mean, I was kind of not mean, I don't want to say I wasn't paying attention, sir, but
No, that it's right of you to question. I'm not sure how much of this Captain Jaw would like me to share with you. I will tell you that if what we believe to be true is in fact true, Admiral Trailblazer is a traitor to Starfleet and the Federation, and is not someone who should be in command of any rust bucket, let alone this ship.
the ensign kind of stops and kind of stares at you and just wide-eyed shock. So, okay, that's not good.
No, but he has been dealt with for the time being. You needn't worry, and we'll be taking steps to make sure that every one of you gets home safely. Trust me, I think of every man and woman on this ship as if they were my own flesh and blood. Or, well, Denobulan families tend to be quite liberal with how we determine relations, but I think of every one of you as close as any one of my siblings I had growing up. So, rest assured, you will be taken care of, Ensign. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, that's it.
All right.
Should I get back to my duties, sir?
If you feel up to it. If you need rest, I'm sure we can get your station covered until the captain is back on her.
You know what? Could you do that for me?
Of course, Ensign. Get some rest. Do you need to stop by sickbay?
No, I'm good.
All right. Please head to whatever quarters you've arranged and get some rest. But if you show any signs of exhaustion or dehydration, please report to Dr. McNeil immediately. It's important to take care of your health.
Thank you, sir.
You're
And
quite
speak
welcome.
of the Denoblian, look, there is your father. As Wash and all the kids come down the hallway looking like they're getting some exercise really quick, just doing a walk around.
Oh, hello, kids. How are you today?
And,
It's a big ship.
Yes, this is quite a vessel. So what have you been learning with Ensign Washburn?
that was close.
I almost said uncle, but I wasn't going to go quite there yet.
Right, exactly. Let's see, a lot of flight stuff, a lot of warp mechanics, a lot of physics stuff. Along those lines.
I learned how to go faster than light.
That's an important thing to know when you're this far out in space. All right,
Absolutely. And yeah, that's the same thing. Wash will just really quickly, just because he knows it was just like happenstance to see you in the hallway, he's most likely will expect you to be on the bridge. So he'll just really quickly say, well, your dad is on bridge today, and we need to get back to the classroom. So everybody say bye, do your waves, and he'll just basically like rush them off down the hallway.
Be good for the ensign, children, please. Thank you.
One of them stops and says, "Dad, can I ask you a question?"
Of course, darling. Anything.
When do we get to see the captain again? Yeah, they used to show us how to fly shuttles. Well, not really, but they told us what it was like.
Can I tell if they're talking about Jal or talking about the captain of the Sappho?
They're talking about the captain of the Sappho.
Oh, boys, girls, come here quickly.
Yeah, because I don't fly.
Right,
This-
that's when Watch would kind of like turn his head for a moment where the kids can't see him and give you that look like, wow, here you go.
He's gonna kneel down and get on the kid's level. Remember how scared you were? How scared you were? How scared I was, and how scared your mother was when we had to leave the Sappho?
Yeah.
Well, it was a very scary situation, and sometimes, when you're out in space, things happen, and unfortunately, we won't be seeing Captain, and I'm blanking on what her name was.
I can only remember her first name.
I don't
I'm
either.
sorry.
Renard.
Just say
like
the
it.
cap.
Oh, Renard. Yeah, Dominique Renard.
Yeah, unfortunately, we won't be seeing Captain Renard or the commander again. They didn't make it. I'm sorry that you're finding this out now. So much has happened the past few days, and I thought I might have told you. Your mother might have told you. I'm very sorry. I didn't take the time to do that, but it's all right. We're all safe now, and Lieutenant Commander Jal is going to be our captain until we make our way back to Narendra Station, and she will take care of all of us. I will help take care of all of us. Your mother will help take care of all of us. Ensign Washburn and everyone on the ship is going to work very, very hard to make sure you're all safe.
Bosch will say, absolutely. And, while that's all going on, we still have to keep up with your studies. Nothing changes. It's like any other day. So,
yeah.
When I'm done with bridge duty, your mother and I will have a family meeting with all of you, and we'll be able to talk about anything you're feeling. If you're feeling scared, or if you're or anything else you might be feeling, we'll have a big family meeting, and we'll eat a big lemur kidney pie, and as a family tonight. I promise you.
Okay. Please don't go away, they say as they start walking over to Washburn.
I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right on the bridge, and I will see you all as soon as I'm done duty tonight. I promise you that. I love you.
Love you.
Bosch will say, thanks, Lieutenant Garrix. I was, as you, I was kind of expecting a little later than sooner, but like I said, you caught me off guard in the hallway, so. And he just kind of smiles. And
thank you for all your assistance, Ensign. And he heads back to the bridge.
Yep, and I head back to the classroom and get back to...
Meanwhile, who is in engineering? So just Selena,
Me.
and Alan. Yep. You two are in the engineering block area. You're in one of the blocks. It is for Alan. It is your temperature gauges indicate that it is fairly warm in here for humanoids, but otherwise you're fine because the whole not being human thing. And Lieutenant Selena, actually, because of your heritage, it is warm in here, but it's actually it's just shy of a little too warm. Like, not uncomfortable, just if you could turn down the thermostat a couple degrees, it'd be okay. But otherwise, it's pretty okay.
I never grew up in this type of weather. But I hear the equatorial region of Vulcan is this temperature.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure you are using the term weather correctly. I believe weather refers to a planet and its climate.
That is correct, Mr. Allen. However, we should focus on the task at hand and not our comfortability. We have a hole that needs repair.
Then I suggest you see to that task. I have another task at hand.
And that is Mr. Allen.
I intend to replicate these blocks.
Ah, yes. Very good. Very good. Please let Lieutenant Garrix know.
He will be informed when it's appropriate.
Mr. Allen, if you are going to be functioning aboard a starship, you must realize that in order for a starship to function, every person must be doing their part, and they must be communicating with senior staff as they do so. If we have, for example, a security officer who is trying to do engineering things get out of hand pretty quick.
That might be a consideration if I worked for Starfleet. I am not limited by Starfleet, so...
Under the Uniform Code of Justice, I hate to inform you, but you are limited to where you can be on a starship, and you are here at Main Engineering at request. So, please, at request, inform Lieutenant Garrix of your activity. And I'm gonna let Alan do his thing, but I'm like gonna be noting, yo, yeah, we gotta take care of this security situation.
I'm just gonna go back to working.
Coming down, someone yells as the hatch above you opens, and an engineer in a jumpsuit, not in the normal uniform, just because it gets way too hot in here, and the jumpsuits kind of help with that. Kind of feet first, kind of dangles their way down and lowers himself in, closes the hatch, looks between the two of you. Need any help?
You look like you require an EVA suit. You're less efficient without an EVA suit.
That's a great idea, Mr. Robot, but they're too big for the hatches. They get caught. We tried it earlier, especially when the blocks start moving. So,
how is the repairs going on Junction Deck? I think it was like Deck 7. The break.
According to, excuse me,
Section 14.
Section 14. There it is.
Yep. Deck 4, Section
repairs
14.
are underway. Looks like there's a call for a lockout. They're going to be sending some damage control outside to start patching it from the other end. So that should take a couple hours. But
very good. Have you been appropriated to your quarters?
Was that? Not really. I kind of haven't had time to stop. We've been kind of crawling all over this thing, trying to figure out how it works.
I pick up the pad and I look. Your name, crewman?
Jensen. David Jensen.
David Jensen. Here it is right here. It is Deck 5.
He leans over your shoulder. Deck 5, room 13. Oh, that's encouraging. Just human.
You know, on Ferenginar, 13 is a lucky number.
I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know where my quarters are, sir. What's with the... who are you again?
I am Lieutenant Selena.
Oh, sorry.
Operation.
Oh, sorry, Lieutenant. I didn't mean you. I meant our pasty friend here.
This is Mr. Allen. He is assisting me with certain functions.
He just looks at the crewman with no sign of interest and then returns away.
Right. Did you clear this?
We would like to.
Sorry, Lieutenant. I talked over you. You were saying?
Is there something you need to talk with me about, crewman, or?
I was just passing through and saw you two working here. Thought I'd offer a hand if you needed one, but looks like I'm just getting in the way. So
I suggest you get back to your work. If the crew is not functioning, doing the appropriate job, the ship doesn't function properly.
That's true. That's true. Very well, Lieutenant. Off I go. And he spins around for a moment, and obviously getting his bearings for a second. And then he walks toward one of the doors and moves into another section.
I go back to things unless Alan has something to talk to me. The repairs of the ship are more important.
All right. Alan, you are trying to replicate one of the...
Yeah, I'm trying to use the information I learned to see if I can replicate the blocks and end our block shortage.
If you do it the standard way, from what you read, it will take each block, and you need 9 blocks to completely replace the whole cube, if you will. Each block takes about a week of replicating. So that's
what's their lifespan? What's their lifespan?
Current lifespan is about 2 months for the whole block.
So I can have like 8 replacements in the time it takes them to run out.
So,
Yeah.
we can produce them faster when we run through them.
Assuming normal operations. Assuming you don't push the engine a bunch, and they can last longer if you go easy on them.
Then unless whatever the not normal way is not that risky, then I'm gonna go with the normal way.
You can attempt. If you're just trying to cut it down to, say, 5 days instead of 7, it'd be a control engineering difficulty 2. If you want to cut it down to something like 2 days or 3 days, that's daring engineering difficulty 4 with a complication of 2. And doing it the normal way, there's no test because it's programmed into the system. It can do that. It can do the normal week one without trouble. And from what you've read, part of the research into the block engine was about trying to find metals that are easily replicatable. And actually, only about 20 years ago did they finally discover, in the lifetime of this ship, that they find parts that they could replicate, as opposed to metals they had to mine, store on the ship, and build.
Well, knowing the information I know now, can I redirect my focus to researching better metals, or is the researching the better metals the reduced time?
You could research better metals, but you'd need to find a new metal that isn't in the ship's database. You'd have to go to an alien planet and get a new metal to research and see if it is better for thermal conductivity than the one you already have programmed in the machine.
Can I not use some kind of like theoretical physics or something to hypothesize about a metal?
Ooh, yeah. Let's try that. Let's try reason engineering. Difficulty, mainly because a lot of the metals that are commonly known are already.
I didn't hear the difficulty.
Oh, difficulty 5.
Well, a challenge has been issued, and now I have to do it. Can I get assistance from the computers for calculations?
1 moment.
Ooh, my favorite thing. Well, other than wash.
Is that it? Trying to find one of my cheat sheets. I don't have them. Normally, I have them preloaded before we start, and I'm kind of finding them as we're talking. Really need to make this a little more streamlined.
Okay, I got the ship.
Oh, rolling the ship is your other favorite thing?
I'm just sitting here, so I'm like, I might as well.
We're going to say computers. Computers engineering, actually.
I'll spend a momentum and 2 threat.
Yep. Oh. 2 threat.
And because I have positronic brain, I got it. because I used reason. And since I used computers, I can re-roll a 0, so I'm gonna re-roll my 0 just to see, for momentum's sake.
Complicated.
Nope,
Damn.
and we get my momentum back.
Your positron gives you how many?
One
Okay.
success if I use reason.
Yep, so you do generate 1 momentum, you're right. Well, yeah. And I'm going to spend 2 threat. The material isn't something that you... The one you're able to theorize isn't one that you can replicate without a sample to verify against or test with. But theoretically, the metals that were used on the Al-Nomed ship could withstand that kind of heat. So whatever polymer they used to create the plating of their ship would withstand the heat immensely better and actually be a way better and would wear a lot more. Actually, did anyone scan stuff while you're in the underground base when you first met did anyone do that? I can't remember.
I think they scanned.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody
we had
scanned.
tricorders out and stuff. I don't know if we did like a dedicated scanning task, but we would have had like tricorder readings at least.
Yeah, they had to because I was sending them messages on the tricorder.
Right. So yeah, some of the metals are in that planet might also do the trick, but you'd have to fiddle with them a bit more. The metals in the ships you got in the Al-Nomed ships are perfect for what your theoretical model. The ones that were in the planet aren't quite right, but you figure with a bit of tweak, if you got some of the metal, you could probably fiddle with it on the subatomic level and then make it.
I would like to go test. Can I use the metal from the transport ship that's in our cargo bay? Because the ambassadors landed on our ship.
Right.
You could.
Then I'm gonna go see if I can start. I'm gonna go see if that can be junked into usable parts.
As I see him walk up and leave, are you leaving, Mr. Allen?
I have a solution to our problem. I believe I can cannibalize the ship, the alien ship, and make our engines more efficient.
I see. I would run that theorem by Lieutenant Garrix first, if you would.
You see, he looks at you for a second and he says, after some calculations, I think the chance of a hostile reaction is much lower if I do consult Garrix. I will consult Garrix.
Those are quite good calculations, Mr. Allen. Carry on.
He looks at you for a second and then he walks to the bridge.
As he's going to the bridge, I'm going to tap my communicator. Engineering to bridge.
Garrix here, go ahead.
Lieutenant Garrix. That reminds me. I have something I need to speak to you about later. But as of right now, Mr. Allen is, as the humans say, in...
Alright then, I shall expect him shortly then, I suppose.
Thank you. Go ahead, Lieutenant.
Anything else I can help you with, Lieutenant?
I am currently looking at affairs, and it seems that we have several hours left before our hull is repaired fully. I would like to leave engineering and get on that. Most of.
I am sure the repair crews would be happy to have your assistance. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Quite welcome, Lieutenant Selena.
I collect my communicator badge and I will begin to head out on the.
And we will shift scenes once more to the med bay.
All right.
Jolson.
How hurt am I?
You wake up staring at the ceiling. The last thing you remember was sitting in your shuttle, and you felt very sick to your stomach in that thing you were taught in induction bad way. And then you passed out, and now you're in here staring at the ceiling with Joel sleeping nearby, or reading actually, because you can see the pad. You see a nurse and Dr. McNeil nearby.
How are my memories? Do I remember my past lives?
You concentrate for a second, and you do.
Okay. Doc.
Ah, Jolson, you are awake.
I didn't know I could have a headache and a gut ache at the same time that didn't involve alcohol.
Relax just a second. Nurse, could you, give, Jolson here a, something for the pain?
Yes, doctor.
Had to perform an emergency, procedure on you, Lieutenant.
How's the symbiote?
Should be fine for now. Both you and the symbiote are out of danger. Though I'm going to have to ask you to wear a monitor for a while. Let's just say you're not the only one on the ship that's affected by the chronoton radiation.
Is it throwing off the isobromine levels?
Something like that, yes.
Welcome back to the land of the living, Lieutenant. That was supposed to be a joke.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Can I take this thing?
Doctor.
Can I take this thing off my head now, Doctor?
Well, I have an excuse. What's your excuse?
Collapsing in the hallway after an explosion. That's my excuse. But doctor,
Yeah,
seriously, it's starting to itch.
Well, you're gonna have to endure. Just give me a second. And she's gonna do a scan on Joel.
The nurse will put it up on the big screen over here for you.
Xenobiology for a focus. Take a threat.
ship assist?
There would be no assist from the ship.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wondering.
Spending 2 threat.
What happened to that whole spending less threat thing?
Right.
So what do I see? Or no?
You're probably being typed to.
Told you, STD.
Reading over the logs, you're able to get that feeling. Send a message to your Discord. You get that reading off of the various bars and lights that are moving back and forth, which are completely arcane to anyone who doesn't know. Other than obviously there's a heartbeat because most people know that one.
Well, Commander John, good news is you're physically fine. However, you're showing some signs of some psychic scarring, which would incur, why your head feels like being hit by a sledgehammer.
Yeah. I'm glad that was cleared up.
Mentally,
Please.
I do not feel comfortable releasing you at this time.
Okay.
You're clearly overworked, and you need bed rest.
Yeah, good luck trying to tell Allied Captain to get bed rest.
He's not wrong.
Trust me, I'm very persuasive.
I have a lot of work to do.
Don't we all, Lieutenant Commander?
Speaking of which,
Yes.
what did I miss? Where's the Admiral?
Currently confined to a set of quarters. Apparently he didn't like the brig. Much like the ambassador and his guards.
Wait, what ambassador?
Oh yeah, the Owl Nomad people tried to send people, and yeah, after knowing what they did to the original crew of the Victoria, I had decided it was better they not roam the ship freely. So I had them confined to the brig, and then we were fired upon and had to leave the... This was while you were collapsed. We had to leave the area. We ran away for a while. Hid here. Although while we were running, Alan took it upon himself to incapacitate the Admiral, and I informed the crew of his crimes, which I will now inform you of. He basically gave the crew of the Victoria over to those golden people. The entirety of the crew, except for himself. I don't know if it was meant to be a ploy or if he did it to cover his own ass. But when you betray that many people, you do not deserve to be free. However, he has been being treated comfortably, and we are going to turn him over to the proper authorities when we get back there. So, that's what you missed, Lieutenant. However, I'm confined to bed rest, leaving you in charge, so if you are free to go.
Here's an extra pillow and blanket, Captain.
Thank you.
I guess it's up to...
McNeil is going to check up on Jolson's vitals and make sure he's stable after his surgery.
A quick scan indicates that the patient can move around, though medical protocol would dictate that you would keep the person in observation for at least 24 hours. It's only been like 2. So they could work, but nothing in the scan says they can't get up.
Well, for now, Lieutenant, I suggest you remain in sickbay. Protocol dictates that you need to remain after a lengthy surgery like this, at least 24 hours for observation. Can move you to one of the other beds than lying on the surgical table.
Not being on the surgical little table would be nice.
Nurse, could you assist me to help get Jolson moved to something more comfortable?
Yes, absolutely. I was getting another pillow and blanket for the lieutenant, and so brings it over and sits it on this bed really quick and helps the doctor.
So, we get Jolson over to the bed next to Joel.
And then the nurse will grab the pillow and blanket, hand it over, and then go back over here, studying the results.
Anything else from the med bay at the moment? Before I move to the next room?
I guess I'll just ask for a pad and start going through the exo logs, make sure that repairs are getting done and crew assignments is taken care of.
Okay.
The only thing the doctor would do would give Joel a hypo of hydrocodone to help with the headache.
You can, if you wish, spend 1 momentum, and that will... You get the feeling that as you're doing it, you have this like doctor's instinct of a... You feel like by doing this, you're heading something off that would have happened later. So you can up the dosage a little bit and make sure that... And it should... You get the feeling this should make the psychic scarring stop. Like, it shouldn't spread, it should actually subdue. You can't remember what paper that came from, but you remember that what you're doing is a good idea. Something in your medical training.
Hypo, doctor.
Okay.
And I assume with it being a narcotic, she is out like a light.
Actually, when it sprays into your head, when you get shot in the arm, your head feels a lot clearer. It doesn't feel like you have lead weights just weighing your head down. I mean, you still feel kind of, you were near an explosion, so you're a little woozy, but your head doesn't feel so terrible anymore.
Thank you, Doctor. Whew.
You're welcome. And try to get some sleep.
I'll try. She just kind of goes back to reading. Maybe that'll put her to sleep. She doesn't know. She's just...
Should I dim the lights, Doctor?
Yes, that seems prudent in this case.
Computer, dim the lights to 70%.
And the lights actually go down a little bit. Meanwhile, back on the bridge. We had Alan heading up to the bridge, as I recall.
Yep.
Over there. Yeah. There you are.
Oh,
I
Mr.
walk-
Allen.
I walk directly in front of Garrick's.
What
I
can I do
have
for you?
something to show you. And then I'll walk to an engineering panel.
All right, he'll follow, looking over your shoulder.
I'll type at a typical fast Android pace and bring up the atomic composition of a metal, and then I just point to the screen.
What would I know about this without? What would I know anything about this offhand without making a roll, or?
Offhand, it looks like some sort of alloy, possibly a metal of some kind. Without context, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Okay, some form of metal. What else could you tell me about this, Mr. Allen?
This will solve our heat sink problem. This is much more durable.
Computer, cross-reference composition of this metal with any logs pertaining to the Series E in the engineering logs.
This is beyond Series E.
Yep. Oh, interesting.
File not found.
Of course. So you're telling me, okay? And where did you find this, Mr. Allen?
I constructed it, and it just so happens I found that it also exists in the alien ships.
Interesting. And you think this would result? And you think this would be able to make a more efficient heat sink?
I guess let me ask Altera first. Exactly how is this going to make it better? Because we were talking about the ease of being replicated and increasing lifespan. How much of those does this metal do?
It does a magical bit of both. Because the reason why the difficulty was so high was that one persuaded the other. Even if you came up with a better lifespan metal, you needed it to be something you could possibly replicate. You found some other theoretical models, but you very quickly dismissed them as beyond immediate use. Something to remember for later, but right now it's not helpful to you. But this little brilliant light bulb idea was, I have a theoretical metal right here. I'll model it. Here's what I need. Here's what I got, and it does the best of both worlds. In fact, this metal should bring up the lifespan to about a year. So to proper maintenance standards for Starfleet. Well, 2 years is better, but 1 year is the minimum.
This metal here is going to help us rival current warp engines that don't use cloaking effects.
That's rather remarkable.
Over at the word cloaking and kind of continue what they're doing.
Right. All right. Well, if you think you can do it, if you can develop proof of concept, we can possibly move it into long-term production. Is there anything I can do to assist you?
You're the most capable organism on the ship. In this matter, I would ask for your assistance.
Well, that's quite a compliment coming from you. I would happily render whatever assistance I can do. Unfortunately, I have been ordered to watch the bridge at the moment. I'll do what best I can to assist you from the engineering console here.
I'm gonna turn around to the console and open a comm link to the captain. Captain Jaw?
Yes.
I need you to relieve Lieutenant Garrix of command. Placing him in command is rather inconvenient at this time. He is needed for engineering work.
Very well. Lieutenant Garrix, your excuse to help Mr. Allen, and I hit my comm badge. Selena.
In the middle of putting on an EVA suit, I tap the comm button on the EVA suit. Lieutenant Selena here.
Unfortunately, you may have to delegate your current task because you are needed on the bridge.
Is this in relation to Mr. Allen?
If by you mean it, does it involve him? In a way, yes. However,
sling of throwing the epithets as the lines cut, and she doesn't even bother to take the suit off. She begins to march directly towards the bridge.
And Jaw kind of looks at the doctor like, I maybe have made a mistake. Do you think the nurse can watch me and you take command for a little while?
She raises an eyebrow.
The nurse looks over and nods at you. You know, that's fine, but of course, you know, she's not the one that's gonna tell you to go, but she just.
Very well. I will take temporary command.
Thank you.
After closing out the line, I'll turn to Lieutenant Garrix. The captain is very inefficient at allocating resources. I have reallocated you.
Very well then. I'd say we best get to work. I did promise my children we would have dinner tonight, so we'd best work efficiently, as you put it.
He motions towards the door and starts to walk towards engineering.
And I guess I follow right behind.
As the turbo lift doors open, there's Selena with a very annoyed look. Lieutenant Garrix.
Lieutenant, Selena, please keep a good eye on the bridge. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to contact me immediately.
Understood. However, I think this will be a rather inefficient use of resources.
Well,
I'm gonna look at her and say, members of Starfleet don't get to decide what's acceptable and unacceptable for allocation of resources when they are junior officers.
rather blunt, but not entirely inaccurate.
It is quite accurate. Good luck, Lieutenant. And don't get punched. I say that as the doors close.
Alan turns to Garrickson and says, "Don't worry. You represent no credible threat. I will not assault you."
Well, that is quite reassuring, I suppose.
I'll take the command chair and sit down and look about the...
One of the crewmen, one of the junior officers, one of the ensigns, I should say, looks over. Lieutenant, you still have your EVA suit on.
I am aware of that, crewman. I unfortunately was requested to come up here. Everybody back to work. The starship only runs when its crew is doing its job.
At this point, Doctor, you walk off the turbolift.
She looks about. Status report.
The engineering guy answers up. We are about to send out EVA lockout now, Doctor. We're getting a request from the shuttle control to use one of the worker bees. Something about the engine mix not being quite right. Mechanically, this translates that it'll cost one threat to use the shuttle because they get the feeling something's wrong with it, but they can use it.
I look at them and say, have someone take a look at it and scan it, and while we're on that subject, have science scan the ambassador shuttle, just so we have an idea of what it looked like before Mr. Allen got to it. And I'll stand up. Hello, Doctor.
Lieutenant Selena, who put you in charge?
Lieutenant Commander Gel.
Lieutenant
You cut
Commander
off before I
Jall's
could
orders
let-
were...
Yeah. Cut me off before I could do
Lieutenant
it, so I
Commander
put care-
Jall's sent me up here to take temporary command while she's recovering.
Oh. And another slurring of throwing the epithets, followed by, the bridge is yours then, Doc.
Selena, I'm really sorry as out of character. Like, you had cut off before I could do it, so I was like, Doctor, could you go do it? Anyway, sorry.
Actually, Selena wanted to be on this repair crew, so she's heading to the shuttle bay.
That's fair.
The operations.
Operations?
Yeah. Yes, Doctor.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask if we were to go through with the EVA lockout for the repairs, or if we're going to wait for the worker bee to be cleared. I mean, we can do it without, but
I look over to the officer and say, I will take care of that. Please tell them to wait for the worker bee. I'm going to personally look it up. Again, Doctor.
What is the hazards involving using the EVO suit right now?
According to scans, no more than normal. Background noise, solar radiation. We're far away enough from the sun that if it flares, we shouldn't be affected. They're within the deflector shield array, so we should catch any small debris.
Very well, No, Selena, you're good for your EVA walk. Put the worker bee on hold for the time being. It seems prudent to maybe perhaps do a maintenance check on the worker bee.
I concur.
The flight officer speaks up. Well, flight ensign, I should say. I'll get right on that. I'll start getting maintenance crews looking at that right now from our department. That way the engineers and operations guys can stick with what they're doing, and we can stick with what we can do. Oh, actually, can we? I have a suggestion though, if you don't mind, ma'am.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I know he's not on duty right now, but we could really use Wash on this one. He's the best pilot in the department, and he knows shuttle engines better than anybody. Sub for the engineers. He looks over the engineering thing and puts up his hands, and the engineer just waves a hand and keeps working.
I would not want to make this in order, but if Lieutenant or Ensign Wash feels that he could look over the worker bee, then so be it. I would try not to overwork everyone at this point in time. We've been going a little aggressive lately.
Just
your call, Doctor. We can leave the ensign. We can leave Ensign Wash out of it. I mean, there are other enlistees that will be able to do it. Because I'm the only other flight officer, so I can't. I mean, I could go down, but we'd have to put a enlistee in my seat, and that's not protocol.
Just a quick question before you do or do not call me either way. How many hours has it been, just in the sense of like off since I last left helm?
About 2-3 hours.
Okay.
And you guys have been pushing hard since the Victoria lifted off. Like, you guys were in the middle of your day, and then you kept going. Like, Alpha ship is over. The fact that you guys are moving onto the bridge is you guys covering the Beta ship, because Beta ship doesn't have a proper command officer to take the seat.
Computer, look at the Ensign Wash.
Ensign Wash is on deck 15. Rec room.
She she taps her comm badge. Dr. McNeil to Ensign Wash.
Ensign Wash, you look at your own page.
Hello?
She can do her work. Yes, she could do her work. Oh, sorry, Doctor. Wash here.
That's not fair.
Doctor, are you free?
Oh, I can be. I could get one of the other couple assistant teachers. We all, since we all work together, to take over. I'm still not going to sleep for a few more hours.
If you feel up to it, we have a worker. Yeah. There is a worker bee that needs to be looked at.
Yes. I can certainly do that.
If you don't mind heading down to the main shuttle bay and taking a look at the worker bee, that would be much appreciated.
Yes, Doctor.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. I'll say, no problem. Wash out. And look at one of the other assistant teaching, the other teachers there, and she just probably will like already nod at me, because hearing the conversation while I'm there, and then I'll just nod at her and head down to the shuttle bay.
Ensign Wash, give me a fitness con difficulty 2 test.
Fitness con difficulty 2. none of my stuff is fitness based, so no focus. So since there's no focus, I will use one momentum. Actually, I'll give you a threat. Sorry, I'll give you a threat so that I can have bold.
It's okay, I forgive you.
And let me make sure focus use says no, because no. I'm kind of bummed out about that because it says no. Ooh, well, at least, okay, and then the 0, I'll reroll with bold. 1 die. Ah, there we go. Gained a momentum.
Wash, as you start striding for Shuttle Bay, for a brief moment, you feel a little lightheaded, but you're able to blink it off and get your second wind, and you're able to keep going.
Do I feel it's something like weird, like that that day that I had half my body go forward, half my body go backward?
It feels like that time you studied like hell for that shuttle maneuvers exam, and you had to do an all-nighter, and you had to study even more.
You had to be in that shuttle for like 56 hours straight. That was crazy. So, I don't know what they're. Yeah. So, okay. So it's just I'm tired. So, absolutely. So I'm like, okay, I really need to get to sleep after this, but let's get this done.
The ops guy on the bridge looks to you, Doctor. Just to verify, Doctor, are we locking out the EVA suit, or are we waiting for the worker bee?
We're going to go ahead with the EVA.
All right.
But I would like to have the worker bee double checked just in case. And if it's needed, it can go out.
All right. Very good, Doctor. Selena, around that time, you stride into the shuttle bay. You see the rest of the damage control team, EVA suits up. They have their gear. They're ready to go out. They're just waiting for the go-ahead to go, and they kind of look over at you because they notice you're still in your EVA suit. Some of them start getting ready to hand you parts of the rest of your gear to suit up. Oh, Lieutenant, you're back? Are you coming with us, or?
Yes, I am coming with you. What is the issue with the worker?
Something to do with the impulse manifold system. The chronoton radiation blast during that cold running earlier. It must have fried something. It's as long as it doesn't go to warp, it's fine. But it's just one of those things that when you affect one part of the ship, the rest of the ship kind of feels it. To put it in a very technical term, but
I understand exactly what you mean.
So if we
would I be able to scan the? Would I be able to scan it with the ship's sensors and make a judgment call as to whether it's space work?
I'll let you know, Selena. I'll let you know that the amount of time it would take you to do that, the damage control team is going to be ordered to go on the lockout. So you'd either have time to go out with the damage control team or stick around to do maintenance on the maintenance check.
Well, if the order is coming to go and do the lockout, I'm going to curse again. I'm going to tell my subordinate that this is my call, but inform the commanding officer that we are moving to repair. And then I look to the repair crew and say, well, what are you waiting for? Let's get out there. Put the helmet on and go.
I will need you to spend one momentum to have a kit with you, because you've been forced to kind of run around, and you'll have to very quickly grab a kit, unless you want to hope that you can use one of the ones that's out there. But everyone's supposed to have their own.
I was going to say, don't they have repair kits?
They do. You just won't, because the order to lock out's kind of a lot of time is going by and it's wasted.
No, I'll grab a kit from the shuttle bay and get walking.
Okay.
I assume this is an EVA roll combined with an engineering check.
I'm going to set the scene for you in a moment. And actually, it will be a scene change because now we've gotten by the first scene of the hectic first day of a break. Now we're actually in the maintenance and fixing phase. So our second scene. So right now, the status is that Selena is out with the damage control team, locked out with their EVA suits. The ops station is coordinating with you, Selena, for the most part, and you're leading. You're going to be able to lead the rest of the team and directing them where they need to go and getting in there yourself if need be, just to help each other. Because you're the senior officer, you're kind of making sure all the enlistees are not just doing the work properly, but also making sure that they're following EVA safety protocols. Because if they screw up, they're sucking vacuum. And you're the only person who's more trained in EVA suits than they are, because you're an officer, so you've had extra training, and I think you have a specialty, don't you?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm probably the only one that has an EVA focus.
Yeah, it's like I had a special 60-hour course on EVA suits alone, and I took then I took the advanced class. I know EVA suits.
I know extravehicular operations. I know extravehicular maintenance. Okay, so that's what I would be doing, is coordinating, getting the actual hull plates put in, welded in. This is normally this would be like normal maintenance, but we've got a big hole here, and there's another hole to do after this one, if I remember correctly.
The big one's is the brake hole. That one's the one that's really hurt you. There's other damage to the ship, but that standard maintenance could catch that. This deck-wide hole is not good for structural integrity.
Right. So I'm going to be working on that one. Now, I have a talent that's repair team leader, too, just to point that out. The check is what engineering?
It is going to be... Oops. One second, checking something. Just got a message. Actually, I'll say this to you real quick, Doctor. You can either spend 2 momentum, or you can roll a command medicine test to do a quick checkup on the med bay. Difficulty of 1.
Can't roll command medicine.
Wow, I'm a smart person. Presence medicine, my bad.
Sorry. It's my presence is an 8, so it's still like success.
Good. Quick scan of Jolson shows that Jolson seems to be okay. Seems stable. No new complications. And you kind of double check the nurse's work a couple times to go check for this extra thing, and then she checks it. Yep, that one too. To you, Selena, I'm going to ask you for a presence engineering roll. Difficulty is going to be that you do have equipment with you, you have enough people, you're not being shot at. I'm going to say difficulty 3. As for a repair team, I'm not sure. I don't recall what that talent does.
It lets me spend momentum to fix breaches, if I recall.
Yeah, it's like one of the only talents that allows you to do something like that. But I could.
When you do the damage control task in the book, you can spend 3 momentum to repair 1 breach.
Alright, so if you're successful at this, there's an additional repair you might be able to pull off.
Coolidge, I am going to give you threat.
How many? Just 1 for 1 die?
3.
3.
For 2 die. And does the ship assist? Oh, jeez, I'm gonna have to re-roll that.
It does not.
Does not? Okay.
Mm,
You should have saw me. I was slouching, and then you said this, so I sat
Is
up.
there a value you think you can use? That might be worth re-rolling.
Yes, there is. Hang on a second. I'm pulling my sheet up. And that's what I just said. I'm gonna have to re-roll that. So... I'm going to use... If the crew works correctly, the ship works correctly.
Okay, sending your determination to re-roll your failures.
That's a much, much better roll. How about we spend 2 momentum to get rid of that 0?
Did we gain any back on top of that?
Difficulty was 3, so you get 1 back, I believe.
You get 1 back, but we spent
You
2.
get 3. Oh no, sorry, yeah, no. Yeah, 1. I bet I'm looking at mine.
Using
now.
untapped potential.
Fair enough, yep. So, do we get a threat and a... You get 1 momentum.
Yay, me!
Now, you do... you're able to make effective patchwork of the hole that's been made. If you spend an additional momentum, you'll be able to repair the breach in its entirety, and it'll be back to normal parameters.
Alright, I would love to do that then.
Okay. And one of the listies calms you with their Eva. That's the last one. I think we got it all, Lieutenant. That's it.
Very good.
Suddenly high-five each other a little bit. Like, yeah, we did it.
Very good. Get back to ship, find your quarters, and get some sleep.
Lieutenant?
Yes.
We need, aren't we supposed to ask permission from the bridge to come back aboard?
Selena to bridge.
Go ahead.
Permission to come back aboard.
Are the repair works done?
They are done.
Very well, you proceed to return to the ship.
Permission has been granted, crewmen.
What would you say if they didn't give permission for you to return to port? Just hang out outside the airlock?
I would have told the crewmen to go anyways and face repercussions afterwards because you're now in a life-threatening situation. Rules demand that you can disobey orders when your life is threatened.
Well, I'm glad you didn't test that theory. Let's just put it that way. In the shuttle bay, we have some people messing about with an alien ship most egregiously, most foul. I mean, they're doing good things. Wow, that's some. There's some old. Let's get you guys away. There we go.
Oh, Selena 1.0.
It was Alan and Gearix, I believe, who came down.
Correct.
Wow, scaling is completely off. There we go.
Now, is both shuttles in this shuttle bay, or am I going to a different shuttle bay? Just wondering.
I think the worker bee would be in the spare shuttle bay where we would have put that shuttle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because that's just how it would work out. We have the 2 main shuttles in their own shuttle bay, and then the worker bee, and then another spot.
Well, yeah, I remember we moved a couple of shuttles to make room so they could land in here. It's just, I was just wondering which shuttle bay Wash would be running into right now. So that's good to know. Not this one.
Oh, Wash got sent down there as well. That's right. I knew there was someone else missing.
Oh, see? There you go.
Actually, on the Centaur class, the shuttle bay is on the 4. It's on the front end, where deck 10 should be. Or deck 10, 9, and 11.
Yeep.
That's why when the thing was nosedived, you couldn't launch any because the nose was in the snow.
Checks out.
Your logic is sound. We find it sound.
And
You may continue.
thank you. I appreciate that. That is incorrect. That is the what? Where'd he go? Do you guys still see yourselves?
Yes.
I do.
Gotta refresh my page. Well, 20 decided to go, nah, you don't need to see what's happening anymore. I'm the GM. I need to know. Just listen to the calming music. Don't think about your impending doom.
It's better than the orchestral number we got in the last episode of the Azure. We knew we were gonna die at that. We just logged on and we're like, oh crap. I get on and the first thing Lear says to me is, do you hear that ominous music? Yeah, no, seriously, it was like, all it was missing was like Latin being sung backwards. That was all it was missing. And it would have been like, okay, Damien, we need you to stop now.
So, Ellen, Gearix, and Washburn walk into the show. Oh, actually, yeah. So Washburn's there for the worker bee, or Ellen and Gearix are there for the you guys see each other, by the way, as you both enter into the like, this picture doesn't do quite justice because the front of the think a big hangar bay sort of setup. Like, it's a massive shuttle bay sticking out all along the front of the Victoria.
You could make us a lot smaller, then it'll represent more as being like more teeny.
Gearix just nods and says, I see Washburn. I see there's no shortage to the number of hats you wear on this ship.
Well, and then I'll pause and say, thank you, Lieutenant. Alan.
The pleasure's all mine, Ensign.
And Wash will say, I'm going to check out the worker bee.
Very well. Alan and I will be working here if you need anything.
Yes, sir. Oop, didn't mean to ping. That's the one weird thing is, click wrong, you ping shit.
Now, who wants to go first? Washburn, Team Worker Bee, or Team Alien Ship?
You guys go first if I went last.
Fine with me if that's what you want to do.
I mean, it's up to y'all.
I'm fine either way. We can do the ship first if that's what you want to do.
Sure. And then I'll go next. Because I mean, we know it's all at the same time, like right at the same time the worker are out there in the Evo. You're working on that, and you know what I mean. So, yeah, absolutely.
All right. So when you approach the alien craft, Alan and Garrix, what is your intention?
Suppose I mean, this is Alan's brainchild, but I'm guessing we're trying to analyze the alien metals to figure out if we can synthesize it as a core block replacement. I guess that's what the gist of it.
Alan, I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, you're on mute. We see you green, but you're mute.
Sometimes my mic, when you push my mic up into the up position, it mutes. Sometimes you gotta do it again to make sure it unmutes. So y'all can hear me now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Then, so my plan was to disassemble the ship and use the transporters or the replicators, since they're essentially the same technology, to turn the outer hull into the correct shape that we need for the blocks. But I don't want to destroy the weapon systems or the engines or the computers in the process, because those may be valuable.
I'm going to say this is going to be a control engineering task. And I'm going to set the difficulty at you're in shuttle bay, so I'm going to not make it as difficult as I want it to be. So it's not going to be that. Garrix, are you involving your engineering department in this, or are you and Alan going to be doing this on your own?
What I was actually going to suggest is, because I haven't to cash in my advantage for studying the engine systems, to create advantage lower the difficulty through that, because I'll know what kind of thermodynamic qualities we're looking for.
Normally you would spend 2 momentum to activate that. You can give me 2 threat to activate that.
Ooh, yeah, I guess I'll use I guess we'll involve the engineering team then.
Okay.
Get some gearheads on this, working the transport systems.
There was a couple people that help wash with the worker bee, and they suddenly just walk away. And I'm like, hey.
Well, one day.
Give me a difficulty 3, control engineering test, complication 3.
Okay.
If this is gonna be the difficulty, a suggestion, Garrix, could you activate that ability to help wash? Because I think you and me will have absolutely no problem with the difficulty.
Okay,
without the engineering team, the difficulty becomes 4.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll let the engineering team help watch then. I'll rescind that, so the difficulty would be 4. Would my focus in transporters and replicators apply, because that's what we're using to strip it, essentially?
Do you have a specialty in transporters or replicators?
Well, the book lists transporters and replicators as one specialty. If you want to rule that it can only be one or the other, then I'll get rid of replicators.
Nah, I won't fight that. In canon, it makes sense to me, because it's matter replication by other means, so...
Okay, cool.
I'll trade a plus.
Okay, cool.
What was the roll?
Control engineering.
That's literally my best role. If you want me to take the lead, it's up to you.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
If it matters at all, I'm willing to spend my determination.
I can spend mine as well. It's up to you.
Okay.
Can you spend determination if you're assisting?
No.
Okay, I'll go ahead and spend mine then. I'll activate the value. It's not quote unquote tinkering. It's trying something new, which I think applies here.
Alan, if you want, you can spend determination to activate a hidden advantage that's hidden in your brain.
What?
Okay, I'll do that.
I will get to that when you're done.
Okay, so I spent my.
Do I need to give you a value?
I would, yeah.
Can I use "I'll maintain my home" because this is partially this is mostly to prolong the lifespan of the ship.
Agreed. I'm good with that.
Alrighty then. I guess I'll roll some dice.
Ship helping?
I'm sorry. You said the complication range was 3, correct?
Correct. And
okay, if we're collaborating, we ignore that complication. So that puts us 1 ahead because I edify with my determination to spend.
A 1 ahead. How do you figure?
Well, you said
right. You said your determination, right?
Yes, I did. And because I have the parent figure talent, we ignore the complication.
Right. The ship can assist. Does assist, I should say, with sensors engineering.
Sensors. Okay.
Yep.
Sensors.
Oh.
And nope.
You can re-roll that because of my technical expertise.
The ship's one?
I think. Let me read the talent real quick.
Okay.
Because I don't know if it's going to count because I'm assisting.
I think it helps you re-roll if memory serves.
It specifically says which may be the ship's die. It says, whenever you attempt a task assisted by ship's computers or sensors, you may re-roll 1d20, which may be the ship's die.
Very well.
Cool. Okay.
Oh, damn it.
Well, I can only ignore the first complication, not the second, so we do get a complication.
Yeah, I guess we do.
Unless you can't spend threat to get rid of complications, can you?
It's his choice to take it as threat or give us an actual complication.
Right. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna have you guys.
Since I have an advantage, does that cancel out? I don't know if that works that way.
Ooh. I'll put it to you this way. The advantage was going to give you some extra information about your current scenario, your current problem. I'm not the ship, but like the ship right now, if you want to save yourself from this complication.
Oh no, we'll take the complication. I want the info.
Okay. We are going to say I'm going to say daring security, as the both of you are working away, and you're starting to pull panels away, and it's coming away pretty easily. And you're not damaging anything. You're getting a quick scan. Parts of it beam away, and then you guys both have to team up and pull away one of the panels for a brief moment, using Alan not using any instruments, and Garrick's needing some equipment to kind of haul this big heavy bit of something out of, and then all of a sudden a big green light flashes, and both of you have to basically very quickly hold up the panel to shield yourselves, otherwise you're going to get a.
Do we know the difficulty?
The difficulty will it was going to be 2, but it's going to be 3 after I spend.
Okay, I'm
There you
gonna challenge. I will survive, because in this situation the calculations are, I don't feel this will ultimately it may severely damage me, but it won't ultimately kill me. But I'm worried about the squishy biological that is in this situation very valuable to me. Very useful might be a better word.
I'll give you that challenge. Yep.
And then can I use that on I am superior, as because that plays into my idea of not actually going to die here. Like, I'm so confident in my superior construction that I can withstand this better than his inferior construction.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh, since this is security, I'm going to spend a threat because I have bold. I guess I'll have to spend 2 threat to buy a 3rd die.
This is a crap roll for me, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to probably fail it.
Can I use survival?
I'm going to say no in this case.
So that's 5. So there's now momentum on the table for you to use.
Okay.
Do
yes. I mean, I can only buy a 3rd die, so, and I. Oh wait, you know what? I'm going to use my banked milestone from the first episode. I got close. I got close to death when the Cepha blew up. I'm not going to blow up again, so I'll spend that bank milestone to grant myself that automatic 1, and I will buy a 3rd die with 1 momentum.
What value?
I'm not using I'm not using a value. I'm using my bank's milestone. I banked a normal milestone.
You still have to have a value attached to it.
Oh, criminy.
You're not gonna lose the value. You're not burning one. You just have to have one to spend it with.
Is don't accept less than your best applicable here?
Yes, I'll give you that.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'll note that I spent that bank milestone, and I'll go ahead and roll that. Well, that's another 2 momentum.
Wow.
So we should have 4 right now, unless you spent some?
I spent 1.
Yeah, then we should have 3 momentum plus whatever we had.
No, it would have been a momentum and a threat, because it's 2 to get a 3rd dice after spinning your determination.
Okay, so you only have 3. Got it.
Yeah.
I got a determination. A thread out of that.
Yep.
So, Wash, as you and the engineering team are you're starting you're not at the hard part yet. You're at the boring part of taking panels off of the worker bee and getting your skier together, doing, level 5 diagnostic, make sure nothing's gonna fry you the minute you touch it, and boom, a flare of green light just lights the entire shuttle bay behind you as Alan and Garrick very quickly slam the thing back into place, and the energy blast stops.
I turn around and it's like, is everybody okay? And I turn to the 2 engineers that are with me or whoever, and I'm like, help them out. See if they're okay. And we'll run over and check them out, see if they need medical assistance, if I need to call medbay.
I'll look at Garrick's and ask, are you damaged?
I don't believe so, other than my pride.
What happened?
Near as I can figure, something in that construction was unstable as we were stripping it. Must have caused some kind of collapsing discharge or something like that.
Some of those capacitors that hold the charge ready for somebody to reach in unwanted can surely zap you too, so absolutely.
Mr. Allen, do you believe we've accrued enough of the material?
Do I think that?
Say again.
Do I think I have enough material?
It'd be nicer to have more, but you've kind of pulled away all the paneling that's safe. Anything more, you might expose more of the electrical internals that might have a repeat of what just happened. You could try again, but
We have a necessary amount, but I would like to continue disassembly. It may be advised for you biological organisms to vacate the shuttle bay, though.
Well, you should at least allow Mr. Ensign Washburn to finish his work then. In the meantime, I have promised my children that I would have dinner tonight, so if you won't mind if I excuse myself.
Bridge to Shuttle Bay.
Garrick's here?
Is everything alright? We detected an energy blast.
Nobody's hurt. We did run into a little bit of a stumbling block here, but everyone's fine. No injuries.
Very well. Do you require additional assistance?
Mr. Allen, would you like additional assistance, or...?
No. From what I've observed, you and the rest of your crew are becoming less efficient as time wears on, and I'm about to remove more pieces of the ship which might be dangerous to you.
I concur then. All right then. Dr. McNeil, we should all be fine down here. I think some of us just should probably get a little bit of rest. If you're okay, keep taking care of the bridge.
Very well.
All right, Garrick's out. Now, excuse me, Mr. Allen, I have a lemur kidney pie to replicate for 5 very hungry young Denobulans. Good evening.
Ooh. Right then. Too quiet. So Garrick's leaves the shuttle bay?
Yep, gonna get the kids into quarters.
Alan's continuing work on the spacecraft?
Yep.
Sent a message to you?
Yep.
Washburn, I'm gonna ask you for a reason plus con. Would be a reason plus engineering, but you're a flight officer, so you can use your con score instead.
Yay.
I'm going to say difficulty is 2.
Difficulty 2? Okay.
Well, right, difficulty 1 because engineering team's helping you.
Ooh, I like that. And I'll give you a threat for the extra die. And since I am working on a shuttle, can I use EPS power and small craft?
You can use small craft.
Excellent.
Does he get advantage from the engineering crews? Because that's what I was trying to tell Garrett.
Yeah, it made the difficulty go down to 1.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 to 1. Good. But thank you for remembering. And here is the die roll. Ooh, so definitely using bold to re-roll that. Now, re-rolling that can, if I roll better, takes away the complication for re-rolling it too. We don't have to spend momentum to get rid of that also, do we?
Right.
I just re-roll it? Okay, good. So, 1 die, re-roll this. Okay, at least it's not a complication now. And it was a difficulty 1. So 1 momentum.
You've determined that the worker bee, between you and the engineering team, the worker bee, the initial guess that there was a complication with the warp drive system bled over into the impulse manifold. If it stayed as long as it does maneuvering thrusters or impulse only, it's fine for now. But to fully repair it, it would require basically the whole thing being ripped out and then using one of the using one of the spare parts and cargo and then refit the worker bee to full operation.
Absolutely.
This has a very weak warp drive. It's like warp 1, like warp 0.5. Most worker bees don't, as I recall, but the Victoria's mission has been about improving propulsion in general, and they were experimenting on this worker bee, and the prototype warp engine is kind of not responding well to the other prototype stuff on the ship.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will hit my communicator. Washington Bridge.
Bridge here.
Yes, we have done some looking over the worker bee, and since they were kind of working on this warp engine also as kind of like prototype on for the worker bees and see how that would work, and so it's just a little bit faulty and and it's just not gonna work, and so right now the worker bee will be fine working with impulse engines only. But as far as warp, we need to rip that system out and put in one of the reserves in cargo, as far as that side of it. So I can get it back together as far as impulse ready, so it can still be used. And if you have other things that need to be done right now, or we could start work on it, depending, but that'll take time.
Oh, well, if it costs 1 momentum, do it.
And then I'll say, unless I can have the engineering team for, say, 2 hours, just everybody just on top of it really quick and get it done and out the way.
Well, Ensign, I'll leave this in your capable hands. See, you know more about this than I do. Do whatever it takes to get it working, and just use your best discretion.
Excellent, thank you, Doctor. And I'll say wash out. And I'll look at the assistant work with me and mention, well, Alan has mentioned that because of the safety requirements that he might need, removing pieces and parts for that other shuttle, can we have get your team together to transport this right now to the other, either to cargo, to that where the piece is located, and we can do our work there, get it done, and that will give Alan the couple hours he needs with an empty shuttle bay for safety.
I could move the shuttle to the cargo bay, Ensign, since this device will never need to fly again, so it can stay in the cargo bay permanently.
Or that. I'll look at the engineer guy and be like, or that.
I might suggest we could just put up a force field between our section and his section, and that should shield us from any other mishaps. I don't like being able to run the shuttle too much with transporters, especially with a compromised system. We usually physically lift it out and set it aside in the maintenance room over this way. And then we bring in the new part, because transporters can kind of muddle the systems and the parts a bit. It introduces a failure point. We could do it, sir, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Engineer gets a commendation.
All right. No, engineer, I like your idea. Let's go ahead and set up a force field between both the bays for protection, and then just have the workers get that part here that we need, and let's just go ahead and get everybody together to get this done, because they're going to need it for the second breach later, and more repair on that. And then, as far as Jamie will spend that one momentum to do so for Wash. And then that's what we'll be doing for, like I said, the next 2 or 3 hours, and just get it out the way, knock it out.
How did McNeil know? Wash. You can do one of two things. There are 2 tests. Unfortunately, you can't do them both. Well, you could. You'll just increase the difficulty of both by 1. This is a rather... It's not hard, necessarily. It's not like... It's more arduous. It's industrious. It takes time to do. And you're already kind of tired, and the engineers are also kind of tired. So you could try... You can do another fitness con, a difficulty 2, even if they get tired, you can still push on without them, and they can fall asleep or nap, and you're still working away. Or you can focus your attention on them, trying to keep them at a good pace so the team doesn't wear themselves out to the point that they start passing out on you. That's a presence command difficulty 2. You can try to do both, but the difficulty of both becomes 3. Complication becomes 2 for both.
Well, okay. I like your offer. So I'm going to take the fitness con, because that's where my numbers shine as compared to the other one by a big, like, 3 or 4 gap. So we will stay with fitness con. I think I'm going to go ahead and take your challenge of 3, but I am going to spend a determination, or my determination of this game, for... I can fly anything? No. No. Insatiable curiosity. Can I get this done?
I won't take that, sorry.
Nope, okay. Voice of the crew isn't going to do it unless the voice of the crew being the engineer crew down here. Yeah, you can do it. And then the last one, though, is because I am working on the warp engine, and I think impulse engines suck just in general, because warp means fast. Then that brings up my last one: Fast Ship and Strange New Worlds.
Fast Ship and Strange New Worlds. I will take that one.
Excellent. Okay, so there's determination. I will spend a threat for that extra die. Focus still is small craft. How much threat? Okay. You know what? I'll do 3 so I can get the 4. Oh no, that's right. I'm already getting determination, so the cost is different. So help me. Could you guys help me again? The determination, and then how many threat just gets me to the 3rd die?
2 for the 3rd die.
For the 3rd die. Okay, so that's 2 right there, which then means like 3 or 4 for the 4th die, right?
And 5 for 4.
Oh no. Okay, we'll stop there. Let's just.
Well, 5 total for 4.
5 total.
Yeah.
Spending my determination. This is my kind of like my big moment. So. Yes, why not? Spend the 5. I'm going to have fun. Get the 4th die. And then use bold to re-roll that 1. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you said difficulty 3 because I mixed them. So that gives us 3 extra momentum.
All right, so you are awake, but because you took the challenge of also directing them, you have another test of presence command difficulty 3, complication 2, to keep the engineering team from flaking out on you.
Oh, I got 2 rolls together. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, presence command though. Princess.
Yep.
Princess
So
is
just
here.
use momentum. Just use momentum.
Momentum this time, yeah.
You get
Okay.
5 momentum for what? All 5 dice, I think.
I think you just spend all 6 if you wanna max out your pool with just momentum. Because the third dice costs you 3.
I think it's actually.
Yeah, I think it's all
I don't know.
6 because it's one for one, and then it's then 3 for the next one, and then 6 for the third one. Because it's 1, 2, 3, which is 6.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, all 6 momentum to finish this out because I didn't realize there was a second roll in it, but I still got to get this done. And
5 momentum.
right, but there's the 3. And then I didn't spend any threat to reroll bold on this one, so nope, can't do that. Yeah, that's it.
All right. You and the engineers pull an all-nighter of just, okay, very carefully unhooking everything, make sure nothing's going to spark or any anti-magic going to touch anything, Okay, we can lift this. Now we can move this out while we're moving the new bit in. Very carefully putting it in, very carefully hand stitching, if you will, with like laser scalpel solders and quick diagnostics, make sure we didn't break anything. And it's just on and on. Every so often people kind of flake out, but you kind of pat them on the shoulder and get them to, no, we're not done yet, keep going. I'm tired too, let's keep going, and like, oh, okay, and they keep going.
Well, there's probably a part of it too, I'm going to say, where I imagine, like I said, that since Washington used to be on a ship all the time, he grew up on one, that most likely they probably even fell asleep and I just like worked for 3 hours straight by myself, and that was just fine too. So yeah, a little bit of all of.
Yeah. They're going, nah, they can sleep now. You don't need other hands to help you. You can do the rest of it, sort of thing.
Exactly. Not until I need the flashlight for diagnostics. Exactly.
It's like, hey, Johnson, flashlight. And just kind of tiredly, holds it up. Thank you. Keep going.
Yeah. And then, when it's all over, the last thing I will imagine I will do is hail the captain or hail the bridge.
Hold on that, because
and whoever it is.
Hold on that. Whoa! Why is Fleur acting all weird? Stop that. Oh god. Next bit is in Tick Bay. My Roll20 decided to be a little weirded out by me changing scenes there.
Lieutenant Garrix, I'm afraid that your wife has vanished.
No.
So then, and I turned to the guy and said, "That's no moon. That's Jupiter Station."
Oh, it gets funnier every time you tell it.
That's how lost we were.
So you really found the guy on a just in and out, just on a planet, just in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, reading about him, he sounded like a coward, and hiding in a hole makes sense.
Yeah, my respect for his rank diminished the more I talked to him.
That's fair. But yeah, apparently the ambassador did not like his accommodation, so he decided to blow himself up. So that was fun. The blackout afterward, not so much.
Yeah, it looks like this command crew needs to work on keeping consciousness.
Yeah. Probably would help if... Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Nurse Fleur to bridge.
Bridge?
Do you want me to stay on for an extra shift for observation over Jolson and Joel, or can I turn in? Because I know you're holding the bridge right now, so I don't know if you want me to hold on to it here or put it off to one of the orderlies. We're getting into gamma shift now, so not sure what you want to do.
Why don't you turn in and get some rest too?
Okay.
God knows we can't be overworked as well.
Yeah. Oh, and status update on our patients. They seem to be fine. They're telling jokes and trading stories. I'm half tempted to inject the both of them to make them go to sleep, but...
Have they got any rest?
They've been... Joel's been reading this whole time, and Jolson just keeps on chatting, so...
I'm gaining a reputation. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh no, you had this reputation already. Jolson is a talker. It's just always been for the last year that we've known him.
Reminds me of this one time in Academy.
This is... oof.
Thank you for the status update. Just go ahead and turn in for the night and hand it off to the next shift.
All right. Do you need anything, Doctor, before I head off?
No, I'll be fine. I'm gonna probably go replicate some coffee.
All right, Doctor. Have a good night.
You too.
Lieutenant Commander, if I could have your attention for a moment.
Yes?
Okay.
I would like you two very much to behave yourselves to the orderly that's going to be replacing me, and please try to get some rest. I wouldn't have to have the orderly call the doctor to have you both put to sleep with sedatives. Okay? And she just kind of smiles when she says that.
Very well.
Give me a couple crew reports. Alright, so I'll start falling asleep.
Oh.
No more
That's
reading.
the case.
Lie down. Lie down, put your head on the pillow, and go to sleep.
We will turn this ship around.
She goes
Sure.
fine and puts down the pad and lays down kind of like an abstinent child.
Thank you. You can read this in Alpha Shift. We're going into Gamma as it is, so.
Jolson, do what she says. She'll go all motherly on you. And
Is that an
nobody
order
can
from
handle
you
that.
or an order from her?
Both.
Both.
Right.
Well,
Computer lights 20%.
I wouldn't call it an order, Lieutenant. It's more of a very strong suggestion. She kind of smiles and at you at that.
Alright.
Thank you. And with that, she takes her leave from sickbay.
Right, probably yelling out, computer lights 20%. Forcing it on him.
Oh yeah, no. By the time Jaws' head hit the pillow, like she's been actively fighting sleep the entire time. She's just out.
I want both Jolson and Jol after I spend 4 threat.
Oh great.
Crap.
Give me a roll. And that roll's gonna be...
You both have worms.
Well,
Do
one
we
of us
have
does, but
Hey, that's racist.
Yikes.
I love Trill. Are you kidding me? Trill are awesome.
I keep forgetting sometimes I don't have my normal function on my...
So what roll are we making?
Are there any Cation Trill yet?
No.
There's your next goal, Wayne. I'm just saying.
I mean, they could be joined.
Say, difficulty 2, fitness command or fitness medicine. As you're both trying to, you're having a night where you're being plagued by the event, the loss of the Sappho.
Fantastic. We have no momentum. I guess take a threat for a third dice. Would composure work in this? No?
Yes.
Yes? Awesome. I'm over there purring away like a kitten.
What the? God dang it.
What?
Fine, I'll do it this way. There. Nothing. Effect. I'm going to spend 2 more threat. Julson, you take 2 stress damage during your rest. And you now have, and the events of the Sappho being lost reverberates with another negative memory in your host's past. In the symbiote's past, and now you're kind of reliving your own terrible memory and someone else's terrible memory at the same time. So you're kind of, at the moment, all difficulty regarding where thought is part of it, like not physical action, but thinking about something, is at an increased difficulty because you're being constantly distracted.
Fun.
Isn't that great for a science officer?
Yep.
Science officers never do physical things. What are you talking about? Selena, I'm gonna ask you something. You're starting to get into the tired mode as well. But you've had a lot of help. You've been able to run around a bit. And Vulcans tend to have pretty good constitution when it comes to things. They're able to endure quite a bit. But you are getting that sense you're getting tired. You could keep working if you want, but do you?
I absolutely would like to push it to the limits. Although I am planning to get some sleep at some.
So where are you heading once you get unsuited? The various damage control thanks you for your help, and they look forward to working with you again.
Of course. I'm heading back to the bridge.
All right, Lieutenant. Don't do anything we would do. And they kind of chuckle a bit, half asleep, and pat each other on the shoulder.
Again, get some rest. It is much important that the crew function at 100% efficiency.
At 100% efficiency, aye, sir. They start saying 100% efficiency like they've heard you say that to them a bunch.
Probably the whole way in, I did.
Wash is still working. Jolson's sleeping. Alan's still working on something. Alan, you're still working on the ship?
It doesn't have to be all at once. I'm trying to get enough material to replicate the blocks for the engine, and as time goes on, I'd like to continue salvaging parts from the ship till there's nothing left. But there's no urgentness to deconstructing the shuttle once I have the materials I need for the first block.
And kind of remind me on canon here. To some type androids, did Data ever sleep or anything like that?
He didn't need to.
He did at one point when he was experimenting with like a program to let him dream, but otherwise he did not need
but
to
I
sleep.
don't have an emotional chip, so there's absolutely no reason for me to sleep.
Okay.
Well, neither did Data, but
no, he did it because he had an emotional chip, so he could dream. But since I don't have that, I don't have a reason to sleep.
Yeah, there's no reason for you to take daily downtime besides, just to be in sync with the rest of the crew.
That's why I don't even have a room. Like I'm not gonna take one because it doesn't make sense for him.
In that case, Alan, sorry. I'm gonna have you can either. There's no urgency here, so I can give you a control engineering difficulty. I'll say 1 because you have the materials, and you can start work on. You can start the process of replicating new blocks now that you have the material. Like you'll have a lot to pull aside, unless you're spending your time digging at the alien ship to get something out of it, other than the plating.
So, I'm trying to be meticulous so that every part of the ship is salvaged and usable or researchable. So if that slows me down, that slows me down. Like I'm not gonna take the hull and spite the warp core or the computer system. I'm gonna take apart the hull in such a way that I can preserve the computer and the warp system in case I need to use them later for something.
Give me fitness engineering. I'm gonna say difficulty 2.
Where'd all our momentum go?
I kinda used it for the shuttle.
I guess
you're awesome.
I guess take
because
it.
You're awesome. I mean, you are awesome, right? You are the awesome Alan.
You said 2, right? Or did you say 3?
2. I said 2.
Okay. Yeah, I spent a threat to get that 2.
Is the ship helping you?
Sadly, no.
No? Okay.
Yeah, he's got to be careful to let the ship help me or to give me reason.
Oh, that's right, because you get all the bonus. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
So you've now created the Advantage Al Nomad ship salvage. So now you have a bunch of parts that can be used for experimental or prototype technology aboard the Victoria, or for personal experimentation. Because now you have it. It's like getting a gun and pulling apart into all its component pieces, and you can go, "Ooh, that's a really cool firing pin. I'm going to use that in something else." That sort of.
Next time Wash takes off in his small craft, he's going to realize that it was way more powerful than he remembers.
Yes.
Why does the impulse manifold fire cannons? I don't get it.
What's this extra pad of L-cars over here for? I'm gonna find out. Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Duh.
Well, and the other parts could be made for the most awesome brewery ever.
Alan doesn't drink though.
Oh, that's
like
true.
Anything.
Yeah, we'd have to find something that would be like universal that would benefit you too.
We'll have to work on an emotions chip.
Dr. McNeil.
Yes.
You are on the bridge in command, coming out of beta shift, going into gamma shift. Selena is not quite back yet because BRB, so Selena will be coming to the bridge shortly. What?
I'm still in call. I just can't roll.
Oh, okay, good. So Selena walks aboard the bridge as Gamma Shift starts.
I relieve the officer at ops, and I will say to him, "Get some rest. I need you to fill in for me come next shift." Doctor?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Any news on when we might be getting one of the two command staff?
If they follow my medical orders and get some sleep, they should be up during mid-time on Alpha shift.
Excellent. If you wish to get some sleep, I can... My tasks here or over there?
I'll be fine for now. I'm used to these long hours as a surgeon.
I imagine we haven't had much time to chat since the...
Yes, everyone has been quite busy.
Per standard report, repairs are going good. I believe we have both breachers taken care of. And, we should be underway in about 30 seconds.
It's too bad we don't have any momentum, but I was about to just inject myself with some immunizine.
I will offer you either a 2 threat, or you can do a medicine plus control.
You know, Alan could come watch the bridge to save you all this trouble.
I don't think you've quite earned that much trust with them yet.
You're
getting there.
Or the rank.
It's not me that's gonna die from overdoses of stimulants.
Stimulants.
Yeah.
Hold on. Doctor, what do you want to do?
I'm taking the immunizine. Give yourself a threat.
Okay. I'll warn you, 2 threat. Not.
For an extra
okay?
dice?
Oh, for extra dice. Oh, no. Yeah. So you're giving me the you were giving yourself the auto pass with 2 threat.
Take threat from the complication.
Because the complication is she has a heart attack.
Now you don't have a choice. It's gonna have to be Alan, because I'm the only one left.
That is not correct.
I'll flavor-wise, Doctor, you inject yourself, and that arm hurts. Oh, you're awake, but it's that energy drink or tons of coffee level of awake. You're functional, but it's uncomfortable.
Now, the big question, did I see her injecting herself?
Unless the doctor actively hid what she was doing.
I'm going to the ready room for just a minute.
Okay.
Like going to the head, type thing.
So that answer is no.
And y'all think Alan is sketchy. Alan's not doing drugs.
We're all a little sketchy. Let's get real. Everyone here is a little bit sketchy.
I literally have a value that secrets are worth keeping.
Which
If they're
directly
given to you.
which directly opposes one of mine, but that's fun.
Oh, right.
I have a value from lying.
Altera, it's like you paused there for a second, like, ooh. That was fun.
Selena, you get a ping. Someone is trying to. Someone's requesting access. Is requesting to calm the bridge from one of the and the signal's coming from the quarters the admiral's from.
Can I get that again? That did not sound.
The admiral basically went over. The computer has alerted you that the admiral is requesting permission to calm the to communicate to the bridge. Normally, staff are allowed to just calm the bridge whenever, but because he's confined, he needs permission from ops to do anything while he's in there.
And he cannot access any computers. I recall the order, so that has to be a security pinging.
It's him. It's an. Just to clarify, he requested. He said to the computer, "Hey, I wish to do this," and the computer told him no. He said, "Could you please ask the permission from the operations officer if I can have access?" And then the computer went, "Okay, I'll pass on the request for access."
All right, I contact security.
Security officer back here.
I contact the security guarding the admiral.
Oh, sorry.
And I say to them, the admiral is trying to request access to the computer. Could you please go in there?
I have a question. Did you specifically put me outside of the admiral's quarters, Jal? Last episode?
Yep.
Is it likely that I would be alerted to this?
If you give me 2 threat, you will be.
Yes, please.
I'll do that because it sounds fun.
Yes.
And actually, yeah, I'll take the 2 threat. Okay, I got it. So you've been alerted.
I'll head down there.
Sorry, say again, Lieutenant. You want us to go into the quarters?
I did not do that.
It's very clear that you did. It's on the.
No, what I mean is I'm not touching my character sheet, so I'm not sure.
Uh-oh. The GM has got you.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Haunted computer, Black Mirror, run!
Well, it has to be either the captain or Altera or maybe the Pavlier.
No.
Lieutenant Selena. Uh-oh.
Did we lose Selena?
There's a hotkey that I did.
I keep forgetting to push. So, Lieutenant Selena here. I assume this is the Admiral I am speaking to?
Oh, no, it's security.
Yes.
You wanted us to go inside the quarters? Is that correct?
Just get him to the door. And I am going to start monitoring
Selena.
on sensor.
Selena, cancel that order. No one needs to go inside the Admiral's confined quarters.
He has sent me a request that I find most curious. And I will show her the request.
Open up a communication link to his cabin. And we'll talk from here. I do not wish to endanger anyone by going into his cabin.
Very well. You do realize this will give him access to the computer for a short amount of time. I will open
If it's just
communications to the
no,
cabin.
it will not. It won't.
Hold on. Alan, I want you to give me a command presence or security presence.
That's a little bit better.
Difficulty, I will set at 4.
Okay. Let's
Just scare him a bit. Don't punch
Can
him.
you tell me what it is so I can see if I have a value that applies?
Basically, as you start approaching the door, the guards kind of look over at you, and they look at each other, and they look at you again, and they got a feel for what your intentions were. It's like they're getting ready to stand in your way and getting already before even near the door. They want to stop you.
Can I use a saved milestone on the value I am superior? I want to my physical presence to impose on them.
Do you recall what the normal milestone was? What episode that was from?
So there's only been 2 that I've played in.
Okay.
Because we've only had 3 before this. And one of them would have been... I don't know. I have 3, but I don't know how I got them exactly what
One was for dealing with the Admiral, but I don't know if this could apply, like, you know, as a thread leading to the Admiral.
I did get a spotlight, but I was not planning on using a spotlight for this.
Well, no, because you got one in the mission where you found the Admiral.
Yeah, so I got the spotlight for the actions I did against the Admiral and stuff, so the milestone I earned with that, the normal milestone I earned that same episode would apply, wouldn't it?
It could, yes.
And you'll let me use that on I am superior?
I will, yes.
Since I gave the explanation of trying to use I am superior for physical intimidation, would you allow hand-to-hand combat as part of that?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Oh, this is security. Take 2 threat. 'Cause I
Sure.
have bulb. Please don't keep count of the threat that I'm spending on this whole action, because it's going to get bad. That's
I
4.
had fun with momentum today, so.
And I'll re-roll 1. That's 5.
So that generates 1 momentum. If you want, Alan, you can give me 2 threat, and the security guards will be so scared they won't tell Bridge what you're doing.
Sure, why not? Wash is pushing me on, so I'm going to do it.
Yes, I so am. This is excellent. I like this.
Oh, this can only go well.
Because technically, Jamie's pushing it, not Wash. But you know, yeah.
So, as I recall, before I called hold... Oh, okay. So before I called hold, the doctor had requested and had ordered for a channel open from the cabin to the bridge. Like, she wanted to talk to him herself. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You get him on audio unless you want him to be on view screen.
View screen's fine.
I would prefer on view screen, actually.
So you see the Admiral in his uniform. He still has his... He's standing somewhat a relaxed attention in front of the computer, like he's waiting.
Admiral, may I ask why you are requiring computer access?
Well, actually, what I wanted to do was, and then Alan steps into view behind him. And he kind of turns and looks over his shoulder at Alan standing behind him.
I'm gonna.
Mr. Allen, what are you doing in there?
Computer close communication with the bridge. Command code Alpha 6 Beta.
Really earning our trust here.
It begins.
Well, this is gonna end great.
Now, hold on, stop. Now, Lieutenant Selena, due to the finagling of the computer core, you could try to roll opposed to try to fight the close. Because you're sitting there, you're the one who opened it up, and you're at ops. You could try to fight this.
Oh, that's cool.
You may have turned your mic off again, Selena.
Oh, I keep forgetting it's push to talk. I could roll unopposed, but I am currently looking at the doctor and the security officer, and I remember that I'm supposed to be responsible for Mr. Allen, so I'm more likely to say I request permission to leave the bridge.
One moment.
Come on. Sorry, I'm trying to send a message, but the thing is acting weird.
Red alert,
might as
security
well
team
just
is
say
at
you're-
6.
Yeah. That would wake me up, and I would do that.
Selena, I need you to stay at your post. I want you to try and deactivate those command codes.
Alright, I will turn around and I will try to deactivate the command code.
And
Now-
Jaw will go. We'll wake up and go to the security.
All right, so I'm going to go down in order here for a moment. Joel's intention is to get up and go to security to pick up like
deck
a
6, yeah.
Okay.
I would assume I could pick mine up from the office or like the doctor's office.
You're type 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you're going to the...
Yep.
Okay. Selena, your intention is...
I'm going to carry out my orders. It's not how I would handle the situation, but that is why I have superior officers.
That's the excuse I keep going with. Give me control engineering difficulty. Give me control engineering. You know this is going to be opposed. You know Alan is going to try. Alan has some sort of connection with the ship, and he's going to try to fight you on it. Well, he most likely will fight you on it. Not guaranteed, but given his pattern of behavior,
we are all going to get court-martialed. I am spending 6 threat.
Don't say we all. Launch is in a shuttle and has no idea any of this is going on. So don't.
And I'm having dinner with my family, so.
Yeah,
Except for the Klaxion went off.
Yes, red alert has gone off.
Well, we're inside the shuttle and hear nothing.
I will get to you in a moment. So, Selena, you've given me 6 threat.
That is correct. Electroplasma systems, sensors, diplomacy, none of that's going to apply.
It's not, no.
Everyone.
Okay, remember that number for later, because I have to get to Alan. Will have to deal with that in a moment.
3.
Oh, ship would, as a note to both Alan and Selena, the ship's assisting you both because the computer core has been messed with.
Oh, okay. What's the ship for Selena's side?
It's gonna be none of your damn business.
Okay, you do it then.
It's going to be computer security.
Computer security. Okay.
Oops, wrong window.
Can I
Over
assist
here.
with the command present since I gave Selena an order?
I will let you do that.
Right now we're at 4. So hopefully one more.
All right. So that's that. Moving on to. Oh, sorry, McNeil's typing something.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Jolson, as you're lying there, you actually wake up before the alarm, in a cold sweat as the symbiote memory kicked in, and whoa, okay, that's new. I haven't thought about that in a while. And then call the general quarters, and you can see your captain getting up, snatching her Type 2 phaser, and striding out the door.
Wait, hold on. And I get up and I grab a Type 2 phaser as well.
Okay. The orderly that's there kind of looks at the two of you leaving with just, what do I? And then you're both gone.
Sorry, what was that?
She says, what do I do? Like, she's in the middle of saying, what do I do? But you're both kind of racing out of you both basically woke up, snatched your phasers, and started leaving. So it's just some, like,
I just wave behind him, like, yeah, just whatever.
God, I can't look at that. Sorry.
Alan, you have an opposed roll, but before we do that, you close the channel. What does Alan do after he cuts the call? With the admiral kind of looking over his shoulder, looking back at Alan.
I rush him with all my strength and try to slam him into the wall as hard as possible.
Okay, now clarification: you're just intending to knock him out, or are you just trying to hold him in place?
I'm trying to knock him out,
All
but
right.
no lethal means.
Now I am going to spend 4 threat.
Now it is lethal.
No, he gets to choose. You move up to him, and it's going to be a roll, and it's going to be daring security, and the difficulty is going to be 4 complication 2, as a part some subroutine that's been buried in your systems. It gives your arm just a little too much push, and you the conscious the sentient part that is you recognizes that you're not just going to shove him to the wall, you're going to put him through it, and you're kind of fighting your own this errant system in your head.
I'm not gonna fight it.
Complication difficulty is now 2 because you're going with it. No complication, it's fine. This is now a lethal attack, and he's going to roll opposed as best he can.
Still daring security.
Yeah.
It was nice having you, Alan.
Go ahead and take a threat. And I'm gonna re-roll that 1 dice because I have bold security.
His superpowers don't kick in, so he's just going to use good old-fashioned NPC threat. Hell. Yeah, he is. We're going to use How much is it to get 5 dice? 6?
6.
Yeah.
Six. He does not want to die.
Right?
Fortunately, his focuses don't apply here, so he doesn't get the benefit from that. Yeah.
Got him.
At this point, Alan spent to get an extra die. Sorry. Like you were spending momentum?
No, what do you mean? I told you I was spending threat to buy a third dice.
Okay.
And then I re-rolled that 0 because I have bold security.
Yeah, okay. Alan is now currently operating off of my threat because he's now become part of the threat the ship's facing.
Uh-oh. This was not my intention. I have a justification, but if I survive to tell you that justification, you may agree with me.
He is... And actually, you know what? Because the universe hates the Admiral for some reason, I'm going to spend 2 threat, and he's going to hang on to that complication, because normally that would help you. I want it to hurt him. So yes, I think you beat him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus his 4. Yep, you hit him.
So I roll unarmed strike.
That's correct.
So my unarmed strike has the quality non-lethal, but you just override that with GM magicness.
With my threat spent earlier, yep, I've turned it into. I turned it into lethal. Yep.
Okay, question. Can we spend another 2 momentum to retroactive your retroactive?
Hey, Alan had the choice of fighting his own programming. He just rolled with it. So.
Oh, absolutely true. I'm just wondering. Just you're absolutely right. He did go with it. So that is
Oh yeah. As far as the role that was opposed for Selena to override the command lockout, I'm not gonna fight it because there is a very specific train of thought I'm following, and he did it for their benefit, so he's not gonna. Now that he's got the Admiral, he's not gonna fight her on that, so she can just win that.
Yep, you'll gain momentum because you expected opposition and you just blew right through it. Like you basically seized that command code away from him.
So that's 4 momentum for y'all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
I got untap potential. I don't know if we added that or not.
I did. We were at 1, the untap went to 2.
Okay. So, Alan, you smash him into the wall, and you feel something snap in his chest cavity, and he just kind of goes unconscious.
I want to use my rudimentary medical knowledge to make sure that he's unconscious.
Okay. I'll get back to you in a moment.
Cliffhanger.
Oh God. Okay, Doctor. So Doctor, you've summoned security. You called the red alert. You did assist Selena, but you do have some spare time in the red alert status that you're in. What do you want to do?
I have a question really fast. Since he did not fight Selena's attempt to block, does that mean they watched the whole thing on the view screen?
It might have blanked out for a second because they would have had to reopen the line. At least that's my thought.
Right, but still could have seen a lot of it though. Well, that is fast. You punching somebody's like 2 seconds. So that's true.
If you spend one momentum, you will have seen the whole thing.
Oh, that's up to you too. Okay. All right, that's my question. Go ahead, Prax.
Spending.
Spending. Okay, so you're able to keep the feed open while the cannon, and you can hear from your side the audible snap of something giving in his chest cavity, and the audible
Selena, you have
thud
command
as
of the
it goes out of
bridge.
you.
Selena, you have the bridge. And McNeil heads to the Admiral's cabin.
Okay, then. So that's what she's doing. I assume you're grabbing your med kit and rushing down there, or you probably have it with you. Come to think of it. Gyrix. So you're working away. You're trying.
I think he was eating with his family.
Yeah, we were having family meeting.
Oh, wait,
we were having pie and talking about feelings.
I had you and Wash mixed up. My bad.
It's all good.
So you're sitting there. You're having dinner with your family. You're talking about the birds, the bees, and the coffins. You know, normal family stuff. And then the red alert klaxon goes off.
Wait,
red
we're
alert.
talking about the birds and bees as well as coffins at the same time, so we're just going for the triple play of childhood trauma?
Well, no, it was more about how did you feel when our ship blew up and you got just into escape pod. But I digress. Continue.
Yes, you hear the red alert klaxon and the call for red alert.
All
Just
right,
as your wife is walking in and getting ready to sit.
I promise everyone we're going to be okay. Daddy's going to work to make sure you're all safe. And when I get back, I want to hear each one of you tell me how delicious this kidney pie was, but right now I'm going to work, and he heads to the bridge.
Okay, so Garrick's is heading to the bridge. Do you tell your wife to hang around there, or does she head off to battle stations as well?
I would probably ask her to stay with the kids, because right now there's I don't want to just lock them in there by themselves when the red alert klaxon's going on. So yeah, Fleur is going to stay with the kids.
You can give me a command presence, difficulty 0. It's just you're spending the extra time for your family and making sure she doesn't go on her officer training of rushing to battle stations. Like, whoa, hold on, no, the kids. Remember, we don't exactly have a babysitter like we usually do.
Would negotiation apply or no?
Sure. Next time you can go on red alert.
All right, well that's one. So
yeah, you got a momentum. She kind of nods. Go.
All right, and he takes off the bridge.
One just means a half hug. Not even a kiss.
Yeah,
Ensign
well.
1, you're the one that's knee deep in a shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
And on the plus side, all your engineer assistants all wake up because there's a red alert, and you're like trying to weld something into place, and then that sounds.
Wash to bridge.
Bridge here.
I hear the red alert. Right now I'm down in
It's
the
a problem with Mr. Allen. Security has been dispatched.
Oh, thank you.
Continue.
Okay, no problem. Yes, sir. I can't wash out.
Some of the engineers with you, Wash, grab some Type 2 phasers out of a nearby locker, and then a couple of them are staying awake and guarding you.
No problem. I will mention to him that it's just something that has to do with Alan and the Admiral's quarters, I guess. So we're good.
Actually, I didn't give you that information.
Yeah,
You
it was
didn't
just
say that
Alan.
part. You didn't say
Yeah.
that part. It was just Alan. Okay. Something to do with Alan. Then Wash will be like, "Oh, Alan, yeah, wash the doors," and then I go back to work.
Yeah, that was kind of the plan, sir. I really wish we had Type 3s.
And then Wash will look over and be like, well, if you hook an EPS conduit or battery to the... Oh, and then he looks and he's like, oh, sorry, never mind. Buy the book. And then he kind of looks at him like, and then he goes back to work.
Jal.
Yes.
You're racing to the you race to the Admiral's door. There's a full security team of 4 security guards there, and behind you is Jolson kind of racing after you.
All right, I'm gonna have to get you into some cardio. Number 1.
Commander, orders.
Star X's ship.
Just keep watch at the door. He doesn't. I'm gonna go in and try and talk him down. If he gets past me,
you don't know that I'm in there.
I do actually.
Did someone tell you?
It was part of the klaxon.
No, it was just the order went out, security to deck 6.
Oh. Yeah, you don't know fair. I'm in there.
Okay. Well,
unless they tell you.
Okay, that's fair.
And they're assuming you know.
Then report would be the first thing she says.
Alan rushed right past us, and next thing we know, we get a call from the bridge up a security alert. And I hear a scuffle in there.
All right, then you wait out here, guard this door. I'm gonna leave. Jolson. Either. How good are you with that thing? She just asked bluntly.
Out of character, what skills do you use for her phaser?
Control security.
Control security.
Not great, but not terrible.
All right. Then if you could back these men up. If Alan gets past me, set your settings, set your phasers to max, and end him. And
I'm gonna take 2 threat.
Yep. I was a kill order if he gets past me. Yep, that's fair. And I will enter the Admiral's quarters.
As you're stepping through the door, you can hear one of them mutter, "With pleasure." Tap, tap, and they level their rifles at the door.
I finally get that.
Okay, Wash did not promote that with his value of the whole speak with the crew thing. just saying.
You step in, you notice that the Admiral has slumped to the floor. Alan is leaning over him. It doesn't look like he's going for like another swing to crush his head or something, but it looks like he's reaching. And actually, Alan, I imagine you're not reaching for a med kit or anything. You're probably just feeling for like checking his pulse, making sure his heart's beating, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but as soon as someone opens the door, I'm not going to care about that anymore. I'm going to pay attention to the door.
Okay, so Alan looks like he was in the middle of something, and then he turns and looks at the door. And Alan, you know yourself more than I do. Are your hands are you in a guarded stance, or are you just like neutral, just standing there?
No, you may not. The humans may be not able to notice because it happened so fast, but there will be a pause while he's making calculations, and then he'll just grab the phaser off of his belt and throw it on the floor, and say,
Hold on. Jal, I'm gonna have to ask you to roll an insight security difficulty 2.
Uh-oh, because I touched the phaser.
Yeah, he might make the wrong call on what you're actually doing.
Oh, fuck.
What was it? Difficulty what?
A difficulty 2.
Okay. Composure as a focus to keep from shooting him. I
will give you that, actually.
Okay.
Please use some momentum.
Right?
Actually, you get a threat.
Oh, because you have bold security, don't you?
Yep.
Because we don't have enough.
Oh,
Because
Of
that's
threats.
why.
please reroll quickly. Oh God.
I'm going
Please.
to spin my determination. And the value honor above all. Because up until this point, everything, like, he's, you know, me and him have had this, like, you know, you have my word kind of thing. And I'll re-roll both those zeros.
I'll let you have that, sure.
Thank God.
Two. There you go.
There's a brief moment where you see him reach for the phaser, and he hasn't acted yet, but you can tell that he's not grabbing it at the handle where you shoot from. He's grabbing it from the fat end, so you can't really shoot from there. That's how you hand somebody a phaser or throw a phaser to somebody. So Alan is reaching for a weapon, but it looks like he's going to move it, and it doesn't look like he intends to shoot. So what would you do with that information?
She would still have her hands close to her phaser. She won't draw it. And she will very calmly look at Alan and say, "Explain."
Continuing in sequence. I'm continuing in sequence because timing's mattering here. Selena, you're in the bridge
Yes.
right now. Are you doing anything additional while on the bridge?
I did say that I reported to Dr. McNeil that the captain and first officer were.
Okay, that report goes through to the doctor because you have your little comm badges. So as the doctor is running along, you can hear it chirp and the report comes through. Anything else you wish to do, Selena?
I don't think there's much I can do from here except for monitor life signs. Which I would be happy to do.
Self-destruct the ship.
Don't listen to him. Don't do it. I've learned it's a bad thing.
A insight medicine test, Selena. Difficult. 1. Alan's in there.
Sensors, because I'm using sensors, and does the ship assist?
Oh, the ship would assist with this, yeah. Be sensors medicine, I believe it is. I'm not full of crap.
And I'm going to spend 1 point of threat just so I can use untap.
Sure.
And this was a sensors check, so I have a few questions.
Yeah. Yeah, you do get a free question, you're right.
And I have extra momentum too. We should be at 6 momentum. My first question, is the Admiral alive?
Admiral is dying.
Alright. Am I picking up any... How distracted does Alan look?
I need a momentum for that.
We have extra.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know you're burning one. Alan... from sensors, Alan seems to not be moving around a bunch. Doesn't seem distracted. Like, there's no indication in the sensors that his neurons or his body is moving in an odd way.
I say to...
I'll take that threat from your untapped potential.
I still get 1 extra momentum, right?
I believe so.
Alright. What I would like to do is spend 2 momentum to beam the Admiral directly to sick.
Ooh. All right. What that's going to entail, you can choose. I'm going to tell you the difficulty. You can choose if you want to roll it or not. Because your character is trained enough to get a quick read on how hard this is. Give your very slow Elcars a moment to calculate along with you. I gotta look up something.
Difficulty 4.
Difficulty
I think so.
I'm calling it.
It's 2 plus
Spend some credit.
1.
Lots of it.
You said you do it at the bridge. It's actually difficulty 4. Yeah.
Spend
If you
more.
use it at the bridge.
Make it a
What's the
6.
sixth part of it?
Could I order the transporter officer to beam the admiral to
So
a
instead of
site-to-site transport? How far are we from sickbay? Can we? I mean, you and I just ran from there. I'm kind of winded, but
well, right now, Selena is acting off of instinct. It's second to second moment because if this
It's-
goes bad, someone might spend threat and
But-
end the scene.
You do realize the doctor's on our way to the cabin.
I do realize that.
So transporting
So-
might be kind
I
of.
also realize Alan's in the room.
Hold on. To answer your question, if you order the beam, if you order someone to beam, it would be difficulty 3 because the beam would be happening from transport room. However, you would have to use an NPC to do the beam. You wouldn't be able to do the roll. But the difficulty would be 3. So I don't know if you want to order that or not with the information you have.
Quickly doing the calculations in my head. Would I be able to assist with the order?
No, you're not. You're not high enough rank.
Okay. You know what? She'll do it. She's going to take the initiative and do it. But as I'm running over to the engineering station, I'm going to say, Doctor, we have a chance to beam him out. We're beaming the admiral who's dying directly to sickbay.
I'm taking 2 threat. Doctor, you may respond.
So where is the doctor at?
You're coming out of the turbo lift. You're on the deck, and you're still hoofing it to the admiral's quarters. You're not there yet.
Celine, you do realize there is no one in sickbay that can treat him right away if he's going into some sort of
The situation
distress.
is too dangerous to risk your life, Doctor. Mr. Allen has effectively neutralized the. I'm making the roll now to do the beam, so he's going to or die in the attempt.
Selena, I am literally right here at the cabin.
Do I see her on the screen?
If you want to spend momentum, you can know that.
I believe I still have one floating, plus the one I got from Untap.
Yeah, I think this is your last one because the freebie saved you one. Plus the untapped, yeah.
So
After this, you just have untapped left. But you see that, yeah, you see that she's like mere seconds away.
all right, change of plans. I'm going to beam Alan out so the doctor can get to.
Where are you beaming him to?
Well, I would like to beam him to space, but I would think, where's the lowest cargo bay on the?
You choose a cargo bay, yeah.
Yes.
Difficulty's the same because it's still site to site.
We don't have a brig, unfortunately.
Huh? You have a brig?
We still have one brig.
Oh, we do? Fuck that! I'm beaming him to the brig.
Okay.
No, he needs medical attention.
No,
No.
Alan.
Alan.
Oh, Alan. Oh.
I'm going to spend 3 of those momentum that we have. And you said it was, what was the roll? Engineering and what?
Are you ordering the transporter room to do it, or are you doing it?
I'm doing it.
Okay. Difficulties 4. It is control engineering, assisted by ships. Sensors engineering.
Structure.
Sensors engineering. Okay.
I am going to spend a value to re-roll. Hold on, I gotta. We are going to use. What's wrong with people? I'm allowed emotions. He's pissing me off. He's pissed me off since I got on this ship. Since he's been discovered, he's been nothing but trouble. I am fucking pissed.
Selena, you rolled insight engineering. What's your control score?
My control score is 10.
Okay. I think that still makes it.
Yeah, that still makes it.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
still the same.
Okay, good.
No, you're good with what you had.
Well, he needs 4 anyway.
Well, no, he's re-rolling the value. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So 1 power is spent. Alan is being beamed away. That's Selena. Jolson. You're out in the hall. You have the security team. They've all set their phasers to kill, and they've shouldered up and they're aiming at the door, waiting for Alan to pop through.
Okay. Alan's taking care of. How's the Admiral doing?
Do you step into the room?
Yeah, I'll step into the room.
Okay. When you step in, you notice Alan is being beamed away. You can see the sparkly effect of him slowly vanishing.
Okay.
The Admiral isn't moving. You can see Jal, it has a sort of not drawing the weapon, just talking, but still in that wary stance of don't do anything.
Yep. I have like the quick draw stance.
Do I see the computer panel that the Admiral was accessing?
Yes.
I want to go over and look at specifically what systems he was looking at.
Okay. I'll give this to you. I'll give this to you without a roll. It looks like he was just using the voice part of it. Like he was just talking. The sort of thing that a guest would get. They were just taught at the request computer for access prompt.
But
So he didn't get access to anything else.
So he was just on the first screen of pretty much.
Yeah, he was on like the login screen, guest or admin. It's like, oh my god, I'm an admiral. Permission from the admin to talk to somebody. Tech support,
I'm gonna go back through the screen, see was there any previous logs he was doing.
I'll give you this with more momentum. Actually, no, you're a science officer. I'll give this to you for free as well. He asked for his ration of water and food at a few hours ago. He asked permission for music to be played and was denied because he doesn't have access. Hence why he then asked for permission for access for the computer.
Okay. But nothing like looking up journal information, no science or tech documents. No,
No.
watching the King and I.
He doesn't have access to the recreation programs. He has no access to the computer.
Dang.
He was locked right out.
He wanted an iPod.
That escalated very quickly for very little reason.
I just turn to Jarl and say, well, whatever he wanted from the computer, I can't tell what it was. He's just been doing standard stuff. Like, that's about it. Does he have a pad anywhere, or is it just a computer terminal?
No, we left him with nothing.
He has no. So besides the computer terminal, he has no tech.
He has the replicators to give him his rations, and that's it.
And the wall.
Well, he wasn't able to touch anything. All he was able to do was through voice.
Yeah.
Okay, so no other computer or no notepad or anything.
Nope.
It was better than the brig cell he was in.
True. That one was filled with gas. Not that you know that. At this point,
we did try to put him in a coma.
I am going to move on to Alan. Alan, you are aware that that's there's another part of your brain that's letting you know that you're being beamed out. Your command codes have been reduced. You could try to fight this if you wanted, but it'll be harder than normal for you if you wanted to oppose it.
Yeah, I'll try to fight it.
Okay. So basically, the difficulty. Normally, your oppose has been basically 0. I've been adding a threshold. The threshold now is 2. So anything past 2 counts toward the opposed roll.
You're gonna have to explain that better.
Normally, when you guys roll, the difficulty is just. I'll put it this way.
Are you saying I need 2 higher than what they got to be even?
Yes.
What did he get? He got a 4. Yeah, and what's the role? The role is control engineering?
Yes.
Can I burn crew of 1? Because the reason I did this was because someone was about to increase the access he had to the computer by allowing him to communicate more openly. That was Alan's reasoning, was that someone was about to fuck up real bad. Like, he could either convince them because they're weak biologicals that can be moved by emotion, or he was gonna be allowed greater access for communication, and that could go badly. That's why I did it.
I'll let you burn it, sure.
Okay.
I need someone to spend it.
I mean, I can spend it on I am superior because I'm directly fighting him on this.
Okay, fair enough. That's getting a lot of use.
Yeah, well, I have an ego, and it goes with my ego.
Be careful not to burn that one.
Yeah. Do I get to use momentum, or do I have to use threat?
You can use threat.
I mean, I don't really want to. I will use 2 momentum and 3 threat. No, 2 momentum, 4 momentum and 1 threat to buy up to 4 dice. And since I'm combating this by issuing orders to the computers, can I have a focus in computers?
Yes, and also recall earlier, the ship is assisting you with this because you both have sort of control.
Hey, so computers, what?
So I will have the opportunity for 2 rerolls because of bold security and technical expertise.
You said computers engineering?
Sensors engineering.
Oh, sensors engineering, okay.
So I'm going to do my 2 re-rolls. So that's my 2 from my value 4, 5, 6. That's 6 successes, which is that means I broke even.
Okay.
And we have no momentum left.
So Alan is kind of having that beam in flickering moment of and you're basically introducing a fault in the reading that it's trying to beam you, and then the lock is off. And then the transport and actually up where Selena's trying to fix it, and Selena's is basically you're still in the middle of being beamed, but you're not beaming out. So it's that sort of warbling. It's obvious to anyone who's watching that there's someone's fighting the transporter. Like, it's obvious that Alan is trying to be beamed away.
If I have the moment, do I have enough time to recognize to take an action while I'm still being beamed?
You can still talk and move around and stuff. You're just kind of half there, half not.
Then I'll look at the captain and say, shut down the transporter. I can explain.
Okay.
And when he gets back to me.
Doctor, you've come into the room. You move straight to the Admiral.
Insight medicine, I guess, to see what's going for injuries or reason.
I'm going to spend. You can roll that. I'm spending 2 threat. As you start to check him over, he coughs up white blood.
I prepare 2 cc's of cortisone, and administer it to him. It's essentially the drug to help stop a heart attack. Or cardiac arrest.
Okay, so give me an insight medicine. You inject him. Difficulty is going to be 3. Because you injected him, I'm not increasing the complication.
Take 3 threat and xenobiology for focus.
Yes.
Spending my determination to reroll that. Hesitation is as bad as inaction.
Very good. Go ahead.
So how bad are the injuries?
He's dying. His rib cage has been collapsed to the point that's starting to pierce his lungs and heart. The nanites in his system are trying to repair it, but the damage is so severe that they're not going to be able to save him in time. Like they'll be able to repair him back to full health as if he never looked he was hurt, but then he'll be brain dead by the time they get around to fixing him.
So he's getting no oxygen?
Yeah. Well, his blood isn't pumping at all, so because his heart's compromised.
Okay, Tapper Combat. Emergency transport site to site from Deck 6 to sick bay.
I am spending 14 threat as you beam him safely away to mid bay to save the Admiral.
Well, I mean both of us.
Is that ending the scene?
It is ending the scene, but I'm letting you have gotten the Admiral away.
That means he's dead, doesn't it?
Technically,
Right.
yes.
All that threat. That's what I'm.
That's all Jamie.
Wait, what? Now, don't get me wrong. I
How-
love drama in this story, but I mean, I didn't want him dead.
Why so much threat?
I didn't want him dead either, but that wasn't my choice.
Right? It was the roles, which is the fun, you know.
Well, it was Altera saying, I'm gonna force you to kill him, or you're gonna have to make a good roll.
Oh, sure, you turned that. Altera, did you word it like that?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, 14. My bad.
So
Don't
you're
worry, you'll get it back here in a little bit.
so you're forcing a scene change.
Yep.
Yeah, the cruising, or that was supposed to stabilize his heart.
Yeah, that's why he's not dead.
Oh, he's not dead.
Okay.
14.
Yeah, the scene ended with him being beamed away to safety.
I can't
Well,
catch a break.
beamed away with him.
So the next scene, so scene change. Now, in a sort of meta sense, I'm just going to get a rough idea here. The intention was Alan and Joel wanted to have a talk about what just happened, correct?
Yeah, but I figured she was gonna, that was a tense. If my explanation wasn't good, that was it.
So you two went there. The doctor is probably trying to save the Admiral's life. So she's not there. Unless you're not trying to save his life. I don't want to presume your actions here.
I think there's a good argument that Jolson would be wherever me and the captain were.
That's up to Joel
Yeah.
in this case.
Yeah, unless there was something else I need to do, I'll probably be with the captain right now. Who's currently on shift? Are we in Gamma shift right now?
Yes.
Hold on. I'm setting the next scene has a bit of a time jump going on.
Because I was about to ask, I was still trying to boost the confinement beam to get Alan to the bridge.
That scene is over. I'm just progressing into. There's another scene that's coming up. I'm just determining who's in the conference room when I set this up. Because certain people definitely wouldn't be here because they're definitely busy with something else.
Wash, I don't think is high enough rank to where it'd matter for him either, so he would just be.
Well, he's senior. It'd be a senior staff meeting for anyone who's available to review what just happened.
I guess I would be. I would be okay. I'd probably be one of the ones who's more free in the sense of when you need just a witness to listen to everything in the sense of a meeting. Then yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'll put myself back out there. Wink.
Oh, you beat me there. Gyrix, I think you're not unless you don't have anything pressing to make you not attend a meeting.
Other than some probably unhappy children that I broke a promise to, no.
So, the question is, I believe the ranking officer is Lieutenant Gyrix in this case.
Yes. That was correct.
Oh, Jaw's not here?
I'm
Jaw
interrogating an android.
Yeah.
Oh, understood.
You mean being interrogated by an android?
We'll agree to disagree.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Anyway, where am I going?
Wait, then so what is this meeting for then?
So, this meeting is Alpha Shift. So, you guys have basically all Gamma Shift was sucked up with the Red Alert shenanigans, the rushing around, securing people, beaming people away, talking back and forth. Then the crew's confused, so officers have to get the crew kind of to calm down and get back to working order. There was an incident in the engineering that needed to be taken care of. There was an incident in the science bay that needed to be, like, a lot was happening at once that basically everyone was being pulled apart. And now you finally have a second to, now that it's an alpha shift, you're supposed to have a morning meeting about the events of the previous day. So this is the senior staff meeting for the day. And only 3 of you can attend.
3/4 of the senior.
Yeah. Hey, could you move out of the captain's chair, please? That's just disrespectful.
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Garrix comes in like 3 minutes late. Walks immediately with the replicator. And Dorian iced coffee with a double shot of espresso.
Hold on. To threat.
I'm drinking straight espresso.
Wait, how do you get threat from ordering coffee?
It's gonna burn you.
Burn me? I asked for iced coffee.
Replicator not functioning.
Oh, of course. Okay. He was about to punch the wall, but then restrains himself and sits down. Well, we've had a very eventful few days. Let's see. The captain is busy interrogating our insane android who almost committed murder. We still don't have. The ship is barely being held together. I still don't know if we can go to warp without jumping through time. So anything anyone has to say, I would be very happy to hear it, as long as it's happy.
On the plus side, we did get our hull repaired yesterday.
Okay, that's good. Let's keep going with that. Anything else?
Once the breaches are done, we should be able to warp fine now that the engine problem is not a problem.
Aside, am I confident the engine problem is not a problem? Because I don't know if we still fully mastered how to go to warp.
I will send my pad from like two episodes ago over to Lieutenant Garrix to show him how I fixed the heating system, so that there's the backup and there's the extreme backup.
Okay, but what I was asking was more towards GM is if we know we can operate warp safely without having more temporal displacement.
Yeah, you do. You guys have enough command over the ship, and heck, you even have like a heat sink replacement system in place. Like you're actually up to Starfleet code with this thing. If you went back to Starfleet command, you'd have achieved the Victoria's mission out here, which was to get this system to work.
Okay, well, that is all good. That's all very good. Trying to think if all right. Well, as I guess I'm still running meeting. This is good news. Thank you both. The next thing that I'm going to bring up next time I get a chance to talk to Lieutenant Jolson or Lieutenant Commander Jal is the big item on my itinerary is we should probably be holding a full crew briefing and a memorial for the officers we lost aboard the Sappho.
Wash will say, absolutely. That was a hard hit on the crew. And especially with all the stuff that's been going on the last 2 or 3 days, not only just losing the Sappho, but everything trying to get together here with this ship. Just no one's had a chance to start mourning process or even think about it. That's kind of more of just the murmurs on the ship right now kind of thing. So yeah, we're just waiting for that sleep, that rest.
Tensions are high. I would feel much more confident in the crew's abilities if we were able to make sure everyone knows exactly what's going on. I mean, we were displaced in time 3 months in the future. It's quite likely that many of our families think we could be dead. Now, I think we owe it to the crew, to everyone, to be honest. Now, I'm not going to go above the captain's head, but this is something that needs to be considered.
Urix, give me an insight engineering difficulty 0.
Can I know what this is about to know if any focuses might apply?
It's recalling the engineering reports and the logs you've read. Something you said's incorrect. And you're trying to remember what it is.
Okay, well, nothing there.
Well, thankfully, at 0, you kind of sit there. There's a half moment as you're talking, and you're like, you have that nagging feeling that, man, I got something wrong. What the heck am I thinking? And you look at the pad that Selena pushed over at you. You're temporarily back to normal. Like your chronometer, you're back to normal time.
Oh, how did I miss that?
Hey,
Yeah, I think when the Admiral
24 hours.
Yeah, when the Admiral gave us the codes and everything, I think we went back to normal.
Oh, well, that's that. Okay, I'm sorry. That was something that I didn't process here. My bad.
Okay, that's why I gave you the roll.
All right. Well. Okay, so we're attracted about being displaced in time 3 months. The crew's. The crew's capable right now, but they should be. But to be at 100%, we need to operate as honestly with them as we are with each other. So I will be bringing this up with either Lieutenant Jolson or Lieutenant Commander Jol as soon as possible. If no one has anything else, I would say we are dismissed.
Bosch will say, yeah, I mean, the Admiral thing struck everybody kind of a weird way. But like you had mentioned, everybody's strong-hearted and pushing through, like Starfleet would be.
The crew is very uneasy at the moment, and I cannot say, as a member of this senior staff, that I do not blame them.
Bridge to Lieutenant Garrix.
Garrix here. Report.
We have a distress call from the USS Sappho.
The Sappho? How could that be?
End episode.
Shit.
That was what the what?
No, that I can think of that a couple ways, but I'm probably pretty sure how that's
Another escape pod?